Tonight, we bring you this week's flight sim news, check in on SayIntentions, we preview iniBuilds KFJK Enhanced, that's right. Finally, we look at Dallas-Fort Worth, check out ChasePlane, and then we're going to have a gawk at ReShade. Hello?
Hello there.
Hello. Everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the Midweek Shuffle. Welcome to the news. And tonight, yes, it's all about the news. Lots of news. And summer has once again returned to little old Ireland. It's been 25 degrees in Ireland. What? Someone just said, no, put on the heater now. It's lovely. Short sleeves. Now, I did something stupid earlier. You can't really see it now, so we're not too bad, right? I was very busy in work, you know. Started off this morning when I arrived. Meet the mechanic. He picked up the Skoda. The Skoda was going away for a service, you see? So I got some morning sunshine. It's quite nice. And then I proceeded to do the important things. Walk around aimlessly around the vehicle yard to make sure there were no gaps in the fences. Right. And then I had to talk about planning. And we had a meeting about the meeting to talk about the planning that we needed to plan. And I thought this was a great idea if we did this outdoors. So I stood this way, you know, with the sun baiting in on my left-hand side, right? And then I said, Jesus, I'm getting scalded. 25 degrees. So on my drive home this evening, after the Skoda was serviced, giving me a return of about 4.2 litres per 100 kilometres, I'm telling you, that's fuel efficiency. Greta, she'd be right. She'd be cursing at this stage. Good man, Murphy. Right. I drove home with me right arm hanging out the window, you know, to try and balance the sun, right? So, this didn't catch up as much as this fella, you know, but it's grand. Don't worry about it, friends. I'll wear long sleeves tomorrow. But anyway, hope you're all keeping well. Hope you're enjoying the weather and returned inside where things are safe. Yes. And, well, tonight, lads, as I said, we've a few bits and bobs to go through. Bit of a technical one this evening, right? Yes, we're going to be checking out some awesome new scenery. iniBuilds, of course, with their enhanced JFK, John F. Kennedy Airport in New York. We're going to have a now dive at that. That's what's behind me. We're also going to be checking out the new Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. Really excited to check that one out. But then we're going to delve into the mysterious world, friends, of Parallel 42's ChasePlane. We're going to fire that up in Flight Sim 2020, and I'm going to show you, well, what I've managed to do with it. Then we're going to go through ReShade. Now, there's a lot of questions about ReShade, and folks are asking me, Jesus Murph, how is your sim looking like that? Well, I used to use the NVIDIA filters. In fact, I have a video on YouTube all about how NVIDIA filters can really enhance the visual fidelity of your simulator. The problem is, Flight Sim 24 isn't exactly, happy out using these filters just yet. We're waiting on NVIDIA to give us some updates. And anytime there's a sim or a driver update, you tend to lose all your settings. You have to go back in, manually do the gadget, and away you go again. So I said, oh, bother. And Gibbo probably told me, I'd say it's 5 years ago now, he said, Murph, you should check out this ReShade. So now I use ReShade. My idea, of course, I thought of it. I didn't. I started using ReShade. And I was like, Gibbo, that's a whole load of, it's very confusing. It might seem daunting at the start, but I have to say, ever since I've installed ReShade, and I use it across everything, be it truck sim, flight sim, everything, I now use ReShade. And yes, there is a little bit of a performance hit, depending on what you're going for, right? But it can make such an incredible difference. It really, really can. So we're going to have a delve of ReShade and tell you what it's all about. You see? So that's kind of what we're up to, right? Busy, there's a lot of news, friends. Yes, news all over the shop. So let's see what the story is. But before we start, 11-second intro, we delve into the chat to see who has rambled into the saloon, the bar, Murphy's Bar, on this Wednesday evening. And also huge news as well. Both Musafan and Adam Controls have confirmed their planned attendance to Flight Sim Expo in Providence, Rhode Island. This is huge news. Alert the media. The lads are going. Brilliant. Outlandish shirts must be worn. Yes. And that's what we're going to do. Who else is going to Expo? Press 1 in the chat if you shall be attending Flight Sim Expo 2025. Because, well, I'm going, Gibbo's going, Muse is going, Adam's going, Scott is going, and a handful of other folks. So let us know here in the chat, because we'll be there, but we'll be going out with a few snaky pints. Do you know what I mean? Just, right, for the social experimental inclusion science. Yes, that's what we do. And for anyone who can't go, you guys dial in number two. And but what we'll try and make sure we can do for you guys is provide digital entertainment. Yeah, it says to make sure that, well, you can stay up to date with what's happening. There'll be streamings, you see. So let's see what we can do, right? So anyway, look, who's here in the chat? CP65, you're very welcome in. Swap21 is here. Hola. Vacuum, good to see you. Tarnish Mossman on a 5-stream streak. Thank you very much indeed. Good to see you, Tarnish. Max Stallion is in the house. Happy hump day, Murph and Fireflies. I can smell the weekend already. And it's glorious. A long weekend. Fantastic news. Now, let me see. Lead Ballooner. Happy middle of the week. Liptorius is here. Mitsuki, good to see you. Cold feet, warm hands. Good evening, Oops. Enjoyed the trucking last night. Always a good laugh. We'd good old crack. Poor old bin monkey binned it over the... Right. He's all right now, though. But yes, Filthy, welcome aboard. Super Typhon, hope you're well. Don't ask me why. Good evening. Hope you're keeping very well. Blinky, he says evening from a warm Wales. It's positively roasting. Soaring AJ. AJH, my guy, hope you're well. Crafty Tigers is here, welcome in. Spitfire, RAF 100 here in the chat. Happy Wednesday. Malky Mac is here, welcome in, dude. Sean Dale, good evening. Hope all is well. 98 Vulcan says, good evening, Murph and Fireflies. Sorry I missed the trucking yesterday. Still suffering a bit of bout. You poor old divil. So I elected to stay in bed. Hope you were all well. We're doing well, Vulcan, and you will too. Soon. Sooner. Right. Go on, you good thing. Dougal McTavish, the chairman, has rambled in. Dougal, how was she cutting? Hope all is well. Do you know now, lads, we had burgers with like this baked potato and then potato gratin. A lot of potatoes in the old dinner tonight. Jesus, it was lovely. Lovely. Sunjammer, good evening. Little Trader is here, welcome in. Eamon 1973, welcome aboard. Creo, good to see you. PH Roy, you're looking well. Vacuum is here, 7 streams in a row. Thank you very much indeed. Stu Snape, good evening. He says, evening Murph, really enjoyed trucking yesterday. I hope Bin Monkey has made it back up the hill after going over the edge. Yeah, he had a terrible old devil in ruin kind of saw his life flash before his eyes, metaphorically speaking. But yeah, it was good English, Murph. It was great crack. Brilliant. It was great crack. Crafty Tigers, 10 streams in a row. Thank you very much, man. Shut says, evening all. Hope we're all good. It's been a warming. It's a fierce warm now. It's lovely. APU Inspector, mother of it, 140 streams in a row. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. That's insane. Insane, man. 140. Jesus. APU Inspector, evening Murph and chat. Happy hump day. The weekend is closing in. Indeed, and it is. Nightsep is in the house. Good to see you, my guy. Fort Noob. Welcome in, Fort Noob. Hope you're well, mate. He says, had to jump in when I saw SayIntentions was on the schedule. Can't get enough. I'm going to show something tonight you may or may not know of, but it's only deadly. Brilliant, right? We'll have a gawk at that now with SayIntentions in a little bit. Commander Balosh is in the house. Happy middle of the week. 3 streams in a row, my guy. Thank you very much indeed. ChasePlane and SayIntentions, says Mitsuki. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Heisenberg is here. Murph, he says, I bought a thing with buttons and dials. It's brilliant. Oh yeah. Welcome to the Elgato Stream Deck Plus, man. Viper Strike is in the house. He was on a cargo run earlier on with the Sky Courier from Bristol to Liverpool to Dublin. Enjoying the virtual weather, Viper Strike. Don't ask me why. He says, hoping to learn a bit more about ReShade, but SayIntentions is an epic thing. It's awesome. But yeah, with ReShade, I'm going to go through all of my settings. The lot, right? So yeah, if you can mess around with them, dial them into your own liking, but I'll give you the kind of the base that I use and see where we go from there. Zybok Doc is here, calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary, I hope you're well. Chalks is here. Am I too late? Have I missed the news? Yes, Chalks, but we'll see you next week. Yeah, it says, no, you're bang on time. Muttley, good to see you. Idle Cutoff is here. Evening Murph, Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're keeping well. You're looking well. I hope you're looking well. Right? Jesus. No news is not good news. Indeed. Adam Controls, AJH. Hello there. Welcome in, Adam. Hope you're well. Right, we're over here. Look, Alton is in the house. 15 in a row. Thank you very much indeed. Velo, good evening. Sunjammer, the wife said it's either me or the flight sim. I did help packing her bags the following morning. That's all I could do. Jesus. Stu, 7 streams in a row. Thank you very much. Old Veteran 965. Scott, a very good evening to you. He says it's news time. KDFW, the scoop. If it's good or is it bad? Well, we're going to find out. Live reactions, you know. Oh, the pixelated horror. We'll see what happens. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, hope you're well. Oz Nomad, good to see you, man. How is she cutting? Right, I was able to get the stream deck to mute my wife. Then she barrels into me cave in the middle of a stream. I just hit her over the head with it. Jesus, Eisenberg. Don't know if I'm believing you that you were busy. Well, me. I say I'm busy. Well, no, I am busy. No, I am. Sometimes if you catch me kind of like this, I'm just thinking about what it is I'm going to do next. A lot of planning goes on, you see. Yeah, Jesus, yeah. Right, on my last bottle of Italian strawberry wine, all I can say is never again. Oh, really, Nightseb? Italian strawberry wine. Does it kind of go through you like, do you know? Jesus, strawberry wine sounds like it should be lovely. Like a daiquiri, you know. Well, that's frozen, so I like daiquiris. I don't care what you're going to say. There's a time and a place for daiquiris, right? And don't say the bridal shower. Listen, it'll be grand. Is the Skoda getting service to be ready to be scrapped? What are you talking about? The Skoda is like a lean, mean fighting machine. It was like getting its, you know, massage done before its athletic endurance, you know. That's how fit and ready that Skoda is. Covered in bird, but that's not important. 14 degrees here. It was 20 degrees yesterday, but then it went to low as -1. Ooh, man alive, that's getting a cold weather. Jesus. Very pink, Schutz. Thank you, Schutz. Quite warm here today. Supposedly Sunday it'll be back to 13 degrees. I think so, yeah. Out there in the suburbs. Good to see you, man. Greta, indeed. Natco, welcome aboard. Hope all is well. Toto is here at last, he says. Did you have to put the cap on to protect the back of the head, says Schutz. What are you talking about? The back of the head is absolutely glorious, look. Feck. That camera makes it look terrible bad. No, but the back of the head is grand. Oh, yeah, not a bother at all. The head looks like it was scalded as well. I got a bit of scalding on the head now. Oh, it did? A complexion of a salmon. Right, ChasePlane, useful for slicing cheese. Do you not like it, Nightsep? They put an update out today, says CP. Okay, had a driver update tonight, says Tarnish. Ooh, Mac Vision, good to see you. Pints will be scolded and people offended. Yes, Yes, they will, Adam. It's going to be brilliant. Right, let me see. Now just get Drunko Gibbo over to Expo. Drunko Gibbo, that's all. We'll have great crack. I'm looking forward to it. Muse fan said he's watching Lord of the Rings on the plane. Where is this now? Heisenberg is going. Strap is a maybe. There's a good few not there. However, fear not, friends. We'll be streaming like an absolute mad lot. Do you know what I mean? So, like, don't worry if you can't actually make the event itself. Well, you know, FS Expo, they do all their online registration stuff so you can watch all the seminars, but we'll be running around with cameras and acting the Aegis, and sure, we'll go live in pubs. We'll have to have an old sing-song somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, we'll keep it going. We'll keep you up to date. Phantom Diablo, good evening. Vince C is in the house. Good to see you. Flying for Fun, welcome in. Hope you're well, mate. Filthy, good to see you. Now, let me see. We're over here, look. Keen Amateur, welcome aboard. The Maverick Mike, good to see you, Mike. Hope you're well. Sir Consulate, Jesus, how he is. AJH, my guy, hope you're well. Sounds like I missed a good one yesterday. 'Twas a bit of crack now. 'Twas a bit of crack. 6 knots. Kieran, thank you very much indeed. 45 months. Jesus, 48 months, Kieran. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. Hope all is well. And, are you enjoying the weather? Hope you're enjoying the weather. Gar Gaming, good to see you. What's it like in Galway, Gar? Is it nice? I think it's nice everywhere. Velo, can never have too much potatoes, Murph. Roast spuds, boiled spuds, Irish spuds, new spuds, mashed spuds, roast beef, jelly and ice cream. Fantastic. That's right. He's right again, huh? Sounds like what we call Boone's Farm. Boone's Farm? It's only lean because it loses parts. I don't like the rhubarb, but the homemade rhubarb wine is lovely, albeit a bit potent. It's called Fragolino. Jesus, nice. Fragolino. Fragolino. I have a Mackie D strawberry lemonade ice in hand. Perfectly chilled. Wait, a Mackie D strawberry lemonade ice. We don't get things like that over here. Do you want a milkshake? Yeah. Do you want watered down Fanta? Yeah. That's it. You know, Sprite if you're lucky. Just heard that Murphy's jersey was burned, so the missus got him a new one. No, I've the jersey over there now. Muse fan bursts in the door with his watch saying he's late. He says, how is his mad jokes? Happy hump day. Today's stream is brought to you by the colour red. That's not that bad, is it? I'm not red. Am I? No, I'm not red at all. I'm glowing, Muse. Glowing. Out the door. Be at the match for 5 to... yeah. Straight out the door. Brilliant. Black Light, good to see you, man. Good evening. One Flight Air is here. Hope you're keeping very well. Aviator Apollo, welcome aboard. Retriever Neil. Wait now. We are a 3 Skoda family. A Fabia, an L-Rock, and an Enyaq. Retriever Neil. Lads, a perfect example now. If you live life to the fullest, if you complete all your chores, brush your teeth twice a day, and be generally successful at everything, you too could end up like Retriever Neil with the Skoda triumvirate of brilliant. Fantastic news. Retriever Neil, I did envy. Let me see. It's Jane Doe is here. Hello, Jane. Welcome in. Jane, come here now. Do you know... I could be asking these sort of questions now. I'll get everyone in trouble. But we haven't heard anything official yet. Right? Is there any news? Or do you think an announcement? Jesus, how come I nearly couldn't say that? I played that one already. That's very embarrassing. That's better. Is there any news? He is going to Providence. Either officially or unofficially. Doesn't matter. Adam Controls is going to wear a new shirt. Muse fan is going to watch Lord of the Rings before we get there. It's going to be exciting. Hope you're keeping well, Jane. And, right, move on. Although the tunage... We're here for the news, but like, you know... I played that. I made that song. Yeah. Blatant lies, blatant. Muse fan says, out the door, right? Let me see. Alice Shin, good to see you. He says, evening, Murph and all, from a sunny County Clare. Don't get to say that often. Sunny County Clare. What? It's not sunny. Now, let me see. Muse fan gifted a tier 1 sub to Jane. Look. Muse, you ledge. Thank you very much indeed. There's no official word yet, but we're waiting to hear. Right, grand. If there's no word, we're all going to go to Seattle, you know, and sit outside. Come on, you devil. It'll be grand. Sean Dale, good to see you. It's those NVIDIA filters bringing the colour out for Murph. Yes, that's what it is. I wish I had a button for that. Right, now come here. We'll come over to this green shirt incident. I was going to wear the green shirt tonight. It's very heavy. Do you know? You try to wear things that you're comfortable in. I'll wear anything, but that's not important. I don't really care what people think. I'm that guy, you know. No matter what it is you decide to wear or how you want to look, how you feel on the inside, what other people might, you know, pass damnation. I'm the guy that you're always going to look better than because I wear what I wear. I'm a great fella to go out for the pub. You know, come on, Murph, you're coming. Why? You're going to make me look better than you are, huh? It just happens by default, do you know? But yes, right, we're over here again. Wait now, I've got a new shirt too. Old Veteran has a Hawaii shirt with the DFW, whatchamacallit? Charts, vector charts, yes. Does the two-tone represent pink and red? No, actually, hang on. Red and white. Red sunburn, white skin. Terribly pasty white. Jesus. Keane Lafford, welcome aboard. The man passed his driving theory test. Congratulations, Keane. Fantastic news. Right, where is this now? Come on, Isle Host. Come on down. Come on down. It'd be great. I could be in Seattle in a few hours, says CP. Oh, Jesus, brilliant. The Irish invented everything. We did. Flight Sim Expo, invented by the Irish back in the 14th century. Flight simulation. We do all these things, lads. We just got sidetracked, you know. Right, let's have a look over here. Red and white, the colours of a Liverpool fan. No, the colours of Cork, right? But can you do the practical after watching y'all driving? So we did truck simming last night, and Keane, you know, how are you lads? I'm doing a driver theory test tomorrow. We're like, yeah. We'll tell you how. It's grand, Keane. And he actually passed it. What? After being monk, how do these things happen, lads? I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, very quick hello to our friends here on YouTube. You're very welcome in. Uniform Goose, good to see you, Goose. Hope you're well. Visualize is here. Paul Pinksker. Hello, Paul. Very good evening to you. Marty K is here. Dave Cleary. Legend Dave. Welcome in, Dave. You're looking well. Nutty Slack, good to see you. Andy Gilbert. You're looking mighty. Siddle is in the house. Lost Trucker. He says hello from Newfoundland. Welcome aboard, and hello from Tipperary. Black Sheep Jean, welcome in. B&O Railroad, hope all is well. Alan Black, good to see you. Stephen Zahn, Jesus. He says, I was watching an old Catstrator stream. Catstrator was brilliant. From 2017 yesterday, and he thanks some bloke called TwoToneMurphy for the membership. Wonder if you heard of him. So Stephen, one of the first content creators I ever watched was Catstrator, Ty. Now, brilliant, just brilliant. Friday nights, and he's on, like, he's based in Boston, neck of the woods. So like my midnight was his 8 o'clock. So he'd always be on late. But that's kind of the inspiration to say, you know, I can press a button. Right. But yeah, no, he's after taking a break from streaming. But I have heard perhaps he's going to be at Expo. Just to say hi to the peoples and hopefully grab a beer with him. Or just buy him a beer and say, here, drink that. Do you know, Leonardo Da Vinci, welcome in. Afternoon from Atlantic City. Jesus, I'd love to be from somewhere fancy like that. Hello from Tipperary. But the grass is green and the sheep are eating it. Visualize says, we need the down low on ChasePlane if it's worth losing all the sim camera controls. Well, I'm glad you asked that, Visualize, because that's what we're checking out tonight. Andy Gilbert says, if you rub his head, will he burst into flames? No, but you strike a match off it, I'd say, you know. Monty is here. Good to see you, Monty. You're looking well. Yeah. That's mad, isn't it? Castrator, if you haven't watched, you need to watch, you know. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. Brilliant. The most beautiful Dave in the room. Excellent. Right, come on. I'm going to press a button now. You ready? It could be worse. It could be from Clontarf. Oh, Jesus. Hang on there now. We'll come over to this screen. See that transition, did you? You'd pay huge money for that, lads. Right. So, yes, this is it's an airplane. It is the Phoenix A320. And we're sitting on the ground here at New York's JFK, John F. Kennedy International Airport, and this is the new enhanced version for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and it's from iniBuilds. Now, we're going to be checking this out in some detail after we cover this week's Flight Sim news, but it's a huge airport, you know, and then we get down the road to Dallas, and then it's huger. Right, so that's what's going to happen. So we're going to pause the simulation and we're going to bring up holy tabs on me screen, Batman. So, a big shout out to Vasco and all the work he does over at MSFSaddons.com, to Callum and the guys over at FS Elite. Well, that's where we're bringing all our news in from this evening. And we'll start off with aircraft. And tonight, lads, the Synaptic Airbus A220. Well, it's back with a major development update. This is a project that it came to life years ago. We saw it in the fly-by-wire installer, and it's the new Airbus A220, quite small, regional, but very, very nice looking. And we haven't heard a lot about it. It's gone kind of quiet. That is until the other day. In a substantial April 2025 development update, the team has pulled back the curtain on recent progress, right? Captain Sickbag is here. Good to see him, the guy. Chase, 49 months, Captain Sickbag, 49 months. Thank you very much. Anyway, they pulled back the curtain, revealing extensive work on the modelling, the systems, and indeed the avionics integration for both Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. This is very exciting. The update also signals a renewed pace of development ahead of a planned development stream coming to us in May. The update, accompanied by a rich variety of new screenshots showcasing the aircraft in multiple states and scenarios, on the ground, in the air, the cockpit, and so on. It also kind of shows some of the other modelling and features when it comes to the likes of the maintenance panels, hydraulics, the EFB is there as well. And Synaptic has said the A220 model has been entirely rebuilt using high fidelity 3D scans, pretty much from the ground up. The visuals are sharper than ever, meticulous attention to detail, such as the rivets marked with their correct part numbers, and realistically weathered decals. The iniBuilds team, working in close collaboration, have contributed significantly in areas like the 3D asset integration, the UV mapping materials, lighting, and the flight dynamics. The project is being built natively for PC and Xbox. This is awesome, right? So we do have a couple of pictures here. It's a beautiful looking jet. Do you know, ideal for those kind of short, medium haul routes, mainly the short ones, in and out of cities. But you can see from these pictures, I mean, go back one there, Murph, will you slow it down? Look at the details of the brakes, lads. Doesn't it look absolutely insanely good? It's starting to look absolutely gorgeous. Look at the textures and the wear and tear, and it's beautiful looking. I gotta say, it's looking absolutely gorgeous. Right. Fully modelled cabin, openable panels, EFB integration, it's all there. They also have scripting individual failures. Synaptic is employing a method whereby systems will interact naturally. This architecture simulates over 600 components and hundreds of interconnections, such as the ARINC 429 and also the CAN data buses. The electrical system alone includes 368 components. What? They're doing a lot of stuff, right? Muse said, I don't know what it is, but the A220 never interested me. Muse, you didn't see The Sound of Music, like, right, you know, we could bring you into, like, the art gallery and you'd be looking at, right? Shut up, you. The avionics, complex avionics suite being faithfully recreated, IPS, DCS, and also the AFDX as well. And some more photos here, lads, so you can look at the MCP and so on. I have to say, from these shots versus what's going on the outside seems, especially from this, the outside seems to have the edge on some of the modelling, but this is still very, very nice looking indeed. Very modern, lads. Very modern. Look at the size of the screens, look. Navigraph integration built in. We like to see that. Awesome stuff. Flight control realism, electronic checklists, and so on and so on and so on. There's no release date yet, but Synaptic reiterated their intention to launch the A220-300 first, followed by the Dash 100 as a free update. The aircraft will be available through the iniBuilds store and Microsoft's very own marketplace. So we're expecting to get a development stream from them in May, which starts tomorrow, right? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Next to your hands, all the screenshots look massive. There's nothing wrong besides my hands. Vicious rumours, lads, vicious. But yeah, this is really exciting. As I said, it's a project that's been in the works for some time. And, you know, to see it now and the attention it's getting now, yeah, I'm looking forward to this, because this aircraft would compete directly with something like your Embraers, right? It's the CRJs, that neck of the woods. And those of you who like flying Airbus, well, you'll find a lot of familiarities with that. But it's a nice looking bus. Anyway, moving on. iniBuilds, we'll go with this. This should have been down the road, but we'll go with it now. iniBuilds have released New York JFK Enhanced for Microsoft Flight Simulator. They're back with another major airport release. This time it's covering their famous hub of JFK. Now, according to iniBuilds, the new version features completely rebuilt ground textures, reworked terminal interiors, new jetways, updated aprons, and taxiways to reflect the latest real-world configurations. And what we have here, we're going to have a look at this tonight. If you've never owned JFK from iniBuilds, you can pick it up for $21.99. However, they are doing a upgrade promotion, right? So if you've owned this airport in Flight Sim 2020 and you wish to buy it again for 2024, well, that'll cost you $4.99. And we're going to have a look at this all over the stuff here the other day. It's really nice and a massive discount for version 1 owners. Yeah. 100%. So we're going to be checking this one out shortly, lads, but it's a huge airport. JFK, like, can you name a handful of, like, the world's most common or most, epic airports, right? JFK, LAX, Vegas is probably up there, Charles de Gaulle, Heathrow, so on and so on. Like, there's these kind of just famous airports. Everyone wants to fly there. They just do. San Francisco, of course. Which, of course, San Francisco got a brand new splash of paint thanks to the Microsoft Flight Sim World Update. So there's loads of options now. Burr. Who put in Burr? Waterford. Yeah, Waterford. Knock. Yeah, Baldonnel. Yeah. They're the ones, right? So this is available right now. We're going to check it out on the stream in a little bit. Now, news from Horizon. Their Boeing 787-9 now compatible with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. If you've been flying the Horizon Sim freeware 787 mod, you probably wondered when it was going to be compatible with 2024. Well, the good news is it's now compatible. There's a bit of a workaround to get this properly working within the sim, but it does work. The latest update addresses a quirky issue where the speed brakes could have unpredictably on landing, a problem that occasionally led to some surprising behavior. Okay, so there's a couple of fixes. In order to get this, the important step, you must own the Premium Deluxe Edition of Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. And make sure that the default 787-10 from that package is installed and enabled inside your 2024 Marketplace library. Because the Horizon mod overrides and edits the original 787's files. That's they tweaked it, right? That's how it works. But yeah, look, Horizons have said looking ahead, some details about their longer term plans. Current version is compatible with both 2020 and 24. They are working towards a fully native 2024 version, and that'll come after the release of the much anticipated version 2 of their 787-9. All right, good stuff. So it's there. If you want to be flying in your 787 using the heavily modified Horizon version of it, well, now you can. Just remember, you need to be editing over the 2020 version. You shouldn't need to have 2020 installed, Muse. No. Your Flight Sim 2024 will detect what you've already owned in 2020. It pulls those aircraft across, and you just need to disable, I think it's the newest 787, and then it'll pick up the older one. Right. But again, if anyone's stuck, lads, let us know over on Discord. Right. If you're stuck, let us know on Discord and we'll try and figure it out there. !Discord is where we hang out when we're not on a live stream. So if you ever have any issues with the sim or you just need advice on how to get stuff working, come on over to our Discord, jump into the Bremen Bar and say, hey, how do you do this? We have a massive community of people over there, all better looking, right? There's about 3,000 people there. And very, very helpful bunch. So if you're stuck with anything at all, just come over, give a shout, and we'll try and get you sorted. All right. Now, Blackbird Simulations. Well, we heard about their dirty torty, right? Their C130 that they're releasing in like this early kind of an alpha as they continue to develop it, and they want some feedback. But they also started talking about their A60, the Otter, the SR71, and also some more extensive developments in their update. So the C130J, the Super Herc for Microsoft Flight Sim, we know we're going to be getting early access to this very, very soon. We knew about that. And they're saying it's going to be, of course, their most ambitious project yet. Fully custom electrical system, detailed avionics simulation, terrain awareness radar with shadowing, deep navigation system featuring INS based on the Kalman filters, and the aircraft being released initially as an alpha, priced at $24.99, and then they'll be updating the gadget as they go. The 3030 will require Flight Sim 2024. It needs the latest sim in order to do it. All right, team, good to see you. Now, the other projects they're working on, right? Like the C-130, we had a look at this last week on how it's all appearing, and it looks very impressive. But they also mentioned some of the other projects. They're working on the A6M5. This is based on the Mitsubishi Zero, Japan's kind of main fighter bomber aircraft of the Second World War. And they aim to release this by the end of May. The aircraft features extensive research to reflect the late war models. My understanding is there are no surviving Mitsubishi Zeros in the world flyable, right? I know over in Duxford, they have the engine of a Zero, but in terms of the frame and the fuselage, a lot of movies, when they tried to replicate the Zero, they used T6 Texans, or Harvards as we call them. Do you know? Thrust Set Simulations, good evening. Hope you're well, mate. Welcome in. You're looking well. Do you know? Chaz Babylon, come in as well. Good man, keep the door open. Welcome in, lads. I'm looking forward to see what the Zero is all about. I mean, look, we've seen already some awesome warbirds in there. I mean, we have, you know, from the Brits, we have the Spitfire, we have the Hurricane in there. From the American side, we have the you have all the cats, the Hellcat. You have the, what was the other one? The Hellcat. Jesus, what was the other one, lads? There's two cats anyway. And of course, we have the P-51 Mustang is in there. That, of course, with the incredibly good Echo 19 sound set. Absolutely transforms that aircraft. Wildcat, that's the one. Thank you, Malcolm Malk. So I'm looking forward to that. But then they started talking then about their Otter. Now, a DHC-3 Otter, not the Twin Otter, is the single engine variant. Both a radial and turbo version of the Otter, they're well underway. Modelling is complete, coding is about halfway finished, and multiple variants will be included. That float, skis, Tundra tyres, and so on. And they're aiming for a summer release. So the Otter, as opposed to the Twin Otter, seems to be well underway also. Now, the SR-71 Blackbird. Development on the highly anticipated Blackbird continues, with the aircraft now capable of reaching speeds beyond Mach 2.4. The team are working on achieving on the aircraft's maximum classified speeds and integrating fully custom flight profiles and sounds. So they're working still on the SR-71. And they also have a Boeing 737-200 in the works. Work is progressing steadily. 2 cockpit variants are planned with a fully analog steam gauge and another hybrid glass model. But 35% of the system's coding is already reportedly complete, and negotiations are underway with another unnamed company regarding the project. So it looks as if Blackbird are reaching out to someone else, maybe to give them a bit of a dig out with their Boeing 732. Other mentions, of course, brief notes were made regarding the long-teased B-1B Lancer, the Bone project, as well as future works on helicopters such as the Huey. And, of course, there's an Apache gun in there as well. Blackbird also clarified their plans for older Flight Sim 2020 products such as the PC Porter, the T6 and also the Cessna 310. They have been updated for basic Flight Sim 2024 compatibility. Full native upgrades will be treated as new products in the future, and owners may be offered discounted upgrade paths where possible. The company noted the significant rework is needed to truly bring the older models up to the 2024 standards. Now, we've all flown the Cessna 310 inside Flight Sim 2024 on a recent live stream. It was working fine, not a bother at all. The PC Porter is there, of course, and also their T6 Texan. That's always kind of misbehaved as an aircraft when it worked like once properly for me, and I really enjoyed it. I think Colonel Fork had a bit more luck with it, you know. Viper says, Murph, I've actually been on a flight on a DC-3 or DHC-3 Otter during my 2024 Alaska trip. Ooh, nice. Hope the 200 comes with a gravel kit. That'd be awesome, Mike. That'd be awesome. Planes of Fame have a flyable A6M. Chaz, I'm not sure. I'm unsure. Is there an A6 still flying? In Mitsubishi Zero. My understanding was there wasn't, but sure, look, if there is. Now, PMDG, this is getting streamed up and down the countryside, lads. Up and down the countryside. Hear this. Now, hear this. PMDG are bringing their 777-200 extended range into Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, their first official Flight Sim 2024 aircraft. We know that the DC-6 will follow, and also then they'll have a look at the other variant of their 777 and eventually their 737s. However, this appears to be the first. So, The 777 will be their native aircraft. It remains fully compatible with 2020 also, which is good news. And we are now just waiting on the release of this aircraft. Now, from Robert Randazzo, it's not just, a compatibility patch. They've fixed a lot of issues and they've also added a lot of new features. As I said, there's various content creators streaming the bejesus out of this. Have a look at it if you're interested. I'll pick it up. Probably we'll have it by tomorrow, I think. It's due to release tomorrow, and we'll probably show it off next week. The 777, this is a beautiful aircraft. There were a couple of issues kind of with the 2020 version, but nothing that's going to ruin your day. Do you know what I mean? I've always enjoyed flying in the 777 in Microsoft Flight Sim. If this is without doubt your absolute favorite aircraft, well, you do have options, of course, on the other platform from Flight Factor over in X-Plane. But PMDG, they've done a great job, I think, with the 777. It might need, I don't know, maybe there's a sound patch, or Echo 19 sounds, or Boris maybe, because we saw already Boris did the 737, completely transformed the experience. It went from really nice to whoa, right? Even though PMDG are working on the sounds themselves, I just think these other studios, they just bring it to the next level, But anyway, so this should launch tomorrow. No news yet on the freighter version. This is the passenger variant, but we shall wait and see what happens there. Now, in other news for the other larger aircraft, well, LatinVFR have released their Airbus A330-3 for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. LatinVFR, they're back with another wide-body addition to its growing lineup of airliners, all the buses. This time it's the A330-3, a staple of international air travel for decades. Aer Lingus fly these. And it's now available in the marketplace for $29.49. The A330, long-standing workhorse in global aviation, first flew in 1992, and with the aircraft being released from LatinVFR, it includes 43 liveries covering a mix of real-world operators, including those who use the General Electric Rolls-Royce and the Pratt & Whitney engine variants, all which are going to be represented in there. The aircraft does feature custom-built avionics suite described by the developer as simulating the basic cockpit functionalities of an A330. It includes the lateral and vertical autopilot navigation, support for pilot-entered holes and missed approaches, and an ILS auto-land system. Some more advanced navigation capabilities such as ORNAV approaches, not currently implemented, but are set to be planned for a future update. A simplified avionics mode, it's also available for users who prefer a less complex experience. The cockpit and cabin are modelled with high-resolution textures. The interior includes a full layout with business, premium economy and economy seating, as well as the galley stations. Cabin announcements are triggered automatically based on the phases of flight, and the developer claims that several cabin configurations match that of the liveried operators, through the extent of that, although the extent of that fidelity varies. So what you get here with a LatinVFR aircraft, they're not at the top end of, we call it, Phoenix, PMDG, FS Labs, they're not at the very top of it, or iniBuilds as well. They're kind of like saying, okay, well, we're going to tweak things, make it work a little bit better than default. And they kind of focus then on the liveries and also the cabin. If you're not really into the airliners, and there's a huge market there, if you're not just into all the big airliners, this is probably a more viable option for getting a wide-bodied jet, right, long range, because the price is $24.95 versus something like $60 or $70. So there's an option there, right? But just don't expect to be getting the systems depth of some of the other mentioned developers. But anyway, it's available right now. You can pick it up through the marketplace, $29.49. Now, news here for general aviation. Carenado announced, of course, they're going to bring a Beechcraft Bonanza, the F-33A, for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Their next aircraft, Carenado, is going to be a Beechcraft Bonanza. And you might say to yourself, "Be Janie, then, there's a lot of A320s in the sim. There's a lot of Airbus. Now there seems to be a lot of, Bonanzas, even though technically you could argue this is more the debonair side, but we'll go through it, right? It confirms the aircraft is coming soon to the in-sim marketplace. The Bonanza, well known, of course, in general aviation circles, often associated with its straightforward handling and utility as a personal and business aircraft. The F-33 was simulated on other platforms over the years, including FSX and P3D. Even X-Plane saw this. The new version appears to be built from the ground up for the updated platform, with visuals that reflect Microsoft Flight Sim's 2024 improved rendering lighting. And it's also going to be working with your GTN 750. Now, there's a photo in here. When I saw it, I was like, oh my word, that's stunning. Look at that. Carenado have always made beautiful looking aircraft. I mean, their visual fidelity, they're one of the best in the business for making the things look good. That looks stunning. I was like, oh, look at the detail there. It's beautiful. Continental there. It's stunning, right? And looking at the aircraft itself, it just looks stunning. The history of Carenado when they make stuff, expect bugs on release. It always happens, particularly with sounds. Then they'll give it a patch. Then they'll leave it for about 26 years and then they'll come back and update it. That's usually what happens, but they do make some really, really nice looking aircraft. For me, I still think the best Carenado aircraft in the sim is the Cessna 182, the retractable landing gear. They nailed that one. They do have a very good, strong portfolio in Flight Sim 2024. The 337 is excellent. The other 182 is excellent. They've made some really, really nice aircraft. I'm expecting this one to be very good, and it's steam gauge. Steam gauge for the win. So it does look stunning, doesn't it? It's a beautiful, beautiful aircraft. I remember there was myself, Jesus, who was there? There was myself, Blue, and another chap in Flagstaff, Arizona, and there was a debonair taxiing out, and the sounds of it were just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So yeah, the Mooney is awesome as well. Absolutely. It's a beautiful looking aircraft, so we should expect to see this in the marketplace very soon. And well, as I said, Carenado, they just make excellent looking aircraft, exceedingly good looking aircraft. Now, more news from iniBuilds. They've announced Doha International Airport, and this is a brand new one. They revealed they're working on Doha's Hamad International Airport, ICAO code of Oscar Tango Hotel. What was it then? International Civil Aviation Organization. Do I pass the test? Anyway, the large airport in Qatar's capital city, which features 2 runways well over 4,000 meters long, will be released as a premium product, which iniBuilds say will include those premium features you would expect to see. Announced via their 2025 April scenery update, the team say that they've been wanting to work on Hamad International Airport for quite some time, but they held off doing so just due to the amount of real-world construction taking place. All right, Mr. Anderson, good to see you. The home of the international carrier Qatar Airways in the Middle East, Hamad International recently completed a number of extension works, including 2 new concourses at the end of the passenger terminal. The team write, "We've been wanting to do this one for a while, however there's been lots of construction which made it difficult to ensure we get it right. Construction now getting to the point where we can accurately see what's being worked on. It has allowed us to get the references we need." So this is going to be a brand new, it looks stunning. This is a brand new airport coming from iniBuilds for Doha. So looking forward to that one for sure. MK Studios just released Seattle-Tacoma Airport for Microsoft Flight Sim, and based up here in the Pacific Northwest, MK Studios releasing the long-awaited Seattle-Tacoma Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha, and it's for both sims, 2020 and 2024. Situated just 13 miles south of downtown Seattle, SeaTac region, is the region's largest and busiest airport, serving as a key hub for Alaska, Delta. 3 runways, a central terminal featuring 4 concourses, and also 2 satellite terminals connected by an underground train system. Seattle, of course, we know is the home of Boeing and indeed Microsoft, giving flight simmers more additional reasons to visit the area. And what we can see here from MK Studios, these are the guys who brought us Dublin, right, amongst others. Well, I have to say, it looks really nice from these pictures, and the detailing. Interiors are done here as well. It looks very, very nice. Looks really, really nice. So they have designed the airport from the ground up to include a modern rendition, including interior modelling, up-to-date ground textures, and indeed custom jetways. You can buy this now from Contrail. It's around €18 ex VAT, so probably 21, 22 quid. I don't like the scenery prices going up, lads. We need to cut it out. But anyway, it does feature highly detailed rendition of Seattle Airport. The interiors are done up to date, high quality ground textures, accurate airport and runway elevation data, custom jetways, custom vehicles, custom approach, runway lights, all the jazz is there. It says AI compatible. That's interesting. AI compatible. I wonder what they mean there. It does look stunning though. And look at that shot. Look at the mountains in the background. What mountain is that? The winner receives a prize of being told that you've won. That's the prize. What's the name of the mountain, lads, in the background there? Seattle. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, moving on, Clifford Designs, well, they've just released Kinsarvik, right? AI compatibility, it does, Fearsome Gamer, it does. Mount Rainier. Was that Rainier, was it? Nice. Anyway, Clifford Designs, we've seen what this guy has done before. Incredible sceneries, enhancements. This one releasing of Kinsarvik over in Norway for Flight Sim 2020. The new product centres around the Vetlimoen heliport, the operational base for the Airlift AS, and encompasses nearby Skatecraft energy facilities. This looks gorgeous. The new product centres around this area. Operational base for Airlift encompasses the nearby Statkraft energy facilities, and included in the package the usual details you come to expect from Clifford Designs, such as custom buildings, terrain formation, and various landscaping objects. And when we talk about landscaping objects, right, these are all these massive kind of scenery areas, right? Things like waterfalls, and it's like beautiful stuff. And these are great for heli tours. This one in particular, it's a helipad, right? It's a heliport, and just incredible amounts of of detail that goes into all of this stuff. And the fact that it's for 2020, it kind of punches 2020 into the 2024 visual neck of the woods with some of these add-ons. It looks very nice indeed. So you can go ahead and pick that up. It's available now for about $23.99 Australian over on Orbex, and scenery based around the around that area, surrounding landmarks, just fjords, glaciers, and so on. You get a ton of heliports. And also the helicopter parking spots are spawnable as well, which is great. Wills 1985, thank you very much indeed for the 2 months. Cheers, man. Hope you're well. Right, now, buttons over here, Murph. Where are we at? Oh, yeah, we're doing one of these. Next up, lads, Parallel 42. They have updated the Circle B ranch for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Now, I love this ranch because we checked this out on a stream before in Flight Sim 2020. It was hilarious. There was people skiing. There's people dancing in the barns. It's a ranch, right? It's a ranch. And it's now been fully updated to work inside... Jesus, brilliant. Working inside Flight Sim 2024. And what makes the scenery, I think, stand out from the rest is the fact that they have modelled a Skoda Superb into the scenery, which makes it the best scenery you can buy. End of story. It's just the best. But yeah, it's a fully working ranch. Loads of little animations and bits and bobs going on there. And it's very much following on from Parallel 42's original sceneries. They weren't just... they were never aiming for just a scenery. They wanted something in there that gave you the vibe of the environment. You're going to experience that environment. And I think they've nailed it. They nailed it in 2020. Now it's working in 2024. You're going to get the automatic enhancements with all the surrounding vegetation, the mountains, the lighting, the shadows. It's all there. Plus, they've updated their assets as well. So great news there from Parallel 42. It's only available to members of Club 42 via the website for $12. Club 42, if you want access to all the Parallel 42 news stuff, once you spend $42 across their entire store line, they give you access then to that Club 42. So, yeah, if you've purchased this already in 2020, there is a update code to get this for 2024 for free. So awesome. Just awesome. It's a lovely little scenery. I think Jepson was heavily involved in this. If I think Jepson was, I could be wrong, but there's people going up and down the skis. It's just class. And I'm after watching friggin' Yellowstone, so I'm like, yes, we're doing it all again. So great news there from Parallel 42. Now, iniBuilds, more news. They were sharing a new look at their London Gatwick scenery coming soon to Microsoft Flight Sim. iniBuilds are flat. They are flat out with stuff, lads. And there's stuff happening relatively soon for the general aviation side of the house. So when, I couldn't tell you, but I would say soon. I would say kind of hopefully before summer. Which I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, this one about their scenery, well, London Gatwick, it's on a final stage of its development. Announced a month ago, the new Gatwick scenery complete rebuild, developed from the ground up to take full advantage of Microsoft Flight Sim's latest capabilities. They explained the accuracy remains a top priority, supported by direct input from the current Gatwick staff, who have been supplying reference material to help ensure an authentic recreation. This is awesome. So the airport are actually working with iniBuilds to give them some of the information of what goes on. That's pretty cool. I like that. Elsewhere, the teaser set provides a glimpse into the gate areas and also some of the ground clutter that you can see with all the updates. We have a number of photos here. And travel with swagger. Look at the detail. Look, that's class looking, isn't it? It's pretty cool. So, like, what's your favourite London airport to fly in and out of? I've flown into Heathrow. Didn't like it. It's too busy. Gatwick? Yeah, Gatwick's grand. Southend is probably my favourite. Luton isn't bad. But yeah, Gatwick, in terms of flying out, it's pretty nice. Oh, London City, of course. Yeah, well, I knew you lot would say that. You know, what's the most dangerous thing? Zybok says there's no Yellowstone scenery. Well, there actually is, Zybok, but it's on FlightSim 2020. It's freeware. Do you know? Bryce Norton, Manchondale, with the Vulcan, right? SoFly's Hanover Airport enters beta as an industry-first transfer program offers discounts for simmers. Wait, what? So SoFly have confirmed that Hanover Airport, Echo Delta Delta Victor, for Microsoft Flight Sim has now entered beta testing, signalling the final phase of development. After months of work, the team say the airport is just a few weeks away from being released. Testers are currently evaluating the scenery, identifying any issues, and suggesting refinements. No exact release date just yet, but it is starting to look good. The new version of Hanover includes a fully modelled terminal interior, high-resolution ground textures, animated jetways, and so on. What else do we have here? This is from SoFly. I mean, they brought they've a ton of add-ons now. SoFly have. They brought all the Weather Preset Pro. They brought the animals, the sounds, right? Dinosaurs at one stage. Kind of mad, right? Anyway, SoFly hasn't yet confirmed the pricing or availability, but a key point of interest is whether Hanover will be added to the company's airport product transfer program. What is that? Announced this week, SoFly introduced what it calls the Airport Product Transfer Program, a system that lets customers who already own select airports from other developers purchase the SoFly version at a discount of 20 to 50%. Customers who already own select airports from other developers purchase the SoFly version at a discount. So hang on, what are they saying here? If SoFly are going to bring out an airport that's already been released by a different developer, well, they're going to give you a massive discount to buy the SoFly version. That's kind of friggin' good news. Let's say, for example, if you bought, and you can see it here, UK 2000s, if you buy Cardiff, well, you can buy SoFly's Cardiff and they'll give you a discount between 20 and 50%. They don't need to do that for any other reason other than making it cheaper for you to buy their version. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's interesting. Dr. Sisu is here. Good to see you. London City, where security was legitimately happy to see me because they were so bored. Jesus. Lieutenant Bob, good to see you. Gatwick controllers are excellent. Yes. That's interesting, though. Orbex. If you had the Orbex Ohrid Airport, well, you could do it for the SoFly one. That's an interesting thing, but like, it's kind of a... I don't think it's a bribe. It's more, it's kind of like an aggressive way to say, hey, look, buy our... Like, they're not saying it's cheaper. If you've already bought the airport from another developer, well, SoFly are saying, listen, you've already bought this airport from someone else. So rather than paying full price for our version, we'll give you a discount. It is aggressive, but like, they have to buy the other product first, which kind of negates the aggressiveness, I suppose. Yeah, it's interesting. It is a first, for sure. It is a first. So that's interesting. Now, moving on. Just Flight kind of popped this under the rug and said nothing. They've updated their FS traffic after nearly 2 years, and they have FlightSim 2024 on the radar to be able to support the traffic injection. Now, Just Flight FS traffic, it does the injection, but they also provide all the models. And news of SayIntentions, they were talking about, well, look, it can use models from like FSLTL and so on. This is good news. So Just Flight's models, they've got a lot of models of different aircraft, meaning that if you're flying on VATSIM, you can download the VMR file. If you're going to be using something like injected traffic, you can use that as well. Or in fact, if you just want to use Just Flight's own traffic injection program, the good news is it's been updated. It introduces a host of improvements and fixes, and current owners should have received an email already. And a brief announcement, Just Flight said it will be coming to 2024. Work is actively underway. So that's their own traffic injection. All right, good stuff. They've reworked some of the UI, which is a big thing for me. And there's a new backup tool as well. So if you have everything working tickety-boo and then you break it, well, you can fix it. Nicely done from Just Flight. Great news there. Now, how do we say this word? Is it Elvitex? Elvitex? Let's go with Elvitex. It's now an open beta. It's a new option for flight sim tracking. And we have a lot of trackers out there now. I mean, we know Navigraph can track, Volanta can track, the VATSIM radar can track. We've got a lot of trackers, right? And after nearly 3 years behind the scenes of development, which started as a casual hobby, has now, poof, it's done lots of stuff. It's a new flight tracking platform for the sim community, and this works with all your major flight sims, 2020, 2024, X-Plane, P3D, even FSX, DCS as well. The goal, of course, is to give users a detailed overview of their flights, down to 1 second position updates. They also have integrations with SimBrief and VATSIM. This is for free, lads, right? Real-time aircraft tracking, flight summaries, a growing aircraft database, SimBrief integration, and also visual representation of your ATC sectors. It's freeware, so if you want to grab it, check it out. Do I have a link to the gadget? Here we go. If you want to try it out, lads, see what it's like. It's quite new, right? So it's along the lines of a Volanta, but it's a client that'll run. And well, listen, give it a shot and see what you think about it. I mean, they need the feedback. All right. The future of flight sim tracking offer completely free. Pretty cool. Volanta has premium features you have to buy into. The basic stuff works, but if you want the premium features, you have to buy it. Support for X-Plane, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 24, Prepared 3D, DCS, and FSX. Only Windows is currently supported. Linux and Mac are planned. Have a look at it, lads. Let me know what you think. And if you're interested, I'd be more than happy to pick it up and we'll have a play with it and see what it can do. But that's great news. Now, Flight Sim Expo received some news. It's going to see a Super Patriot aircraft on the exhibit floor. We know the Parallel 42 are working with this as a upcoming aircraft project, and we've just received news that the actual Patriot aircraft is going to be on the floor in Providence. This is very exciting. So Flight Sim Expo goers will be able to see the Super Patriot aircraft right on the floor. For the first time at an Expo show, visitors will be able to see the real-world counterpart parked next to a virtual rendition running in the sim. And they did have a Vision Jet in Houston. Okay. Parallel 42 confirmed the development of the plane last August, and we saw some pictures of Edson and Kevin. We don't just talk about realism, we bring it. At our booth, you're going to find a real Super Patriot Mark II parked next to the digital counterpart running inside Flight Sim 2024. It's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Get tickets now before prices go up, by the way. Flight Sim Expo to take place between June 27th and 29th at the Rhode Island Convention Centre, and the place for all the latest and greatest flight sim announcements. It's going to be an awesome weekend, not only because, yes, there's announcements, and yes, you get to meet with developers and find out what's happening. You get to meet other flight sim enthusiasts, and that's what Expo is all about. You get in front of like-minded individuals who are sharing in their hobby and their passion. That's aviation and flight sim. It's always a bonus when you can talk to, the lead developers, because, hey, are you working on this? Or, hey, really like what you did. Or, hey, I've had loads of issues with your product. Can you help me out? It's an amazing opportunity to do that. Do you know what I mean? Prices are going back up. Tickets right now are $90, but they're going up tomorrow to $100. So save yourself $10. As I said, if you can't make it in person, and you can play with stuff, all the hardware. If you can't make it in person, lads, don't worry. Yeah, you get to meet me as a last resort, right? You'll find me in Murphy's Bar. If you can't make it, don't worry. As I said, we're there, so we're going to be covering loads. We'll be going live, wrecking your heads. It'll be like you're actually there, because Muse Fan is doing a sing-song as well. There's loads of stuff happening, Anyway, let's see what happens. Laminar Research are doing a rave on one of the nights. That could be interesting. But anyway, Flight Sim Expo, it's all happening. Now, lads, SayIntentions, right? There's our little stuff on SayIntentions, because you're all aware what they're doing. It's far more... Jane, they're doing a rave. I'll send you on the link. It needs to be bet, right? I reckon now there should be an Irish dancing kind of a Cayley. We'll do a Cayley. Yeah, see you in your rave. Don't mind that at all. You know, the river dance will be happening next door. Right? Brilliant. But anyway, this SayIntentions, far more than just ATC and traffic injection. They're doing other stuff. And of course, they are, they're working on their AI living world, right? And that's all in production. And that's where the heavy focus is right now. The traffic injection and getting everything right. And when there's enough time, when SayIntentions are ready, well, they'll pull back the curtain and give us a look of what's going on, right? But for now, I wanted to kind of bring your attention to another feature. I covered it briefly before. Unsure if you guys are aware of it, but we have to have a look at it here now. Goosh. It's called the Flightline, and it's a product on SayIntentions. It's for free, and you can use your phone to communicate to, SkyOps or whatever, without even being in the flight sim. Huh? What is it? Flightline allows you to communicate with ATC dispatchers using standard text messaging or WhatsApp. And this is something similar that's done in the real world. At a lot of places, you can text now to ATC to get your flight plan or get information about your flight plan, right? But you can also check other things. You can get an ATIS, or you can do a whole load of stuff. You can also get PDC through this, your pre-departure clearance. This is what happens in the real world, right? Anyway. IFR clearances, VFR clearances, ATIS requests. You can get it to your SkyOps pager, right? So you can be sitting there and next thing your phone will beep when there is a mission. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, I've a mission to fly. Quick, get into the sim. Cue the Batman music. Right? Brilliant. But anyway, real pilots do this stuff via text. Now we can too. And as I said, I've tried this. I had a quick look at it and I was like, wait, what? You can use WhatsApp. Customers outside of North America will use WhatsApp Messenger to communicate. If you're in the United States, you can communicate using standard SMS text messaging. Put yourself in a VPN and then you can use WhatsApp. But anyway, this is what you do. Open your WhatsApp Messenger app on your device and send a message to this number. WhatsApp will not allow us to communicate with your mobile device until you send this message, right? So I want to show you what it is. So if I go into my phone here now, hey, and I go into WhatsApp, right? And if I go into, is it SayIntentions? Or is it going to be SkyOps? SkyOps. All right. Now, how can isn't there a way I can share this? I can, lads, I can. Have a look at this now. Is it Lonely Screen? It's called Lonely Screen. Is that the add-on I use? No. Hang on, we'll do it over here, look. Lonely Screen, right? Wait till you see the state of this now, lads. This is absolutely bananas, right? Bananas. Screen mirroring, Lonely Screen. Wait till you see this now, right? Do I have this saved somewhere? I do. I call it iPad or something, don't I? Hang on, lads. I have a button in here now somewhere. iPad. Oh, balls. Where did that go? Wait now. Tablet. Yes. iPad screen. Yes. Why aren't you showing me the thing? Wait now, boys. Wait now. How do we fix this one, Murphy? All right, hang on a second. iPad. Yes. Transform. Hit the screen. Okay, that didn't work. Yes. Bring this up here now.
Who's in charge?
Listen, it'll be working. A clue what you're doing. It's going to be brilliant when I get it working, right? iPad screen. Lonely Screen. Automatic. Okay. Why isn't it showing up? Why isn't the little showing?
They've done studies, you know.
Hang on.
60% of the time,
I have, Ted.
it works.
I've been drinking like a mad
time.
idiot.
Jesus, I know what's wrong now. It's all right, lads. I know what's wrong. This will only take about 10 minutes. Jesus. Right, delete that now, Murph. Right? And now we're just going to do a...
Oh, Jesus.
Is it a browser source or a media source?
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Hang on! It's a
It's
video...
not the plane. It's the pilot.
Will you hang on a minute now and we get this sorted?
This baby hits
Ah,
88 miles
Jesus!
per hour. You're gonna see some serious shit.
Where's the... Video capture? No, it's a screen, Murphy. It's a screen! It's a display!
Can I do the refund?
No,
It's not the
Shagon!
plane.
Ah,
It's
Jesus.
the pilot.
Display capture. You're a right bunch of funny lads now, riot. It's not
Yep.
just...
We're going the wrong way.
Oh, Jesus. Wait now. Game capture.
Get a load of this guy.
Capture any full screen. Capture a specific window. Wait now. No. Wait now. Why isn't this working? Come on now, you devil you. Wait now. Right, so hang on. There!
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Will you ever shag off? This only took me 10 minutes, but I told you I'd make it work, look. Because Murphy, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my genius has proven to create gravity.
Yeah,
right.
baby. Yeah.
Anyway, look, here's me phone. Jesus, that's dangerous to put me phone on the internet. Here's me
Welcome to
phone.
my secret underground.
There. Right, it only took a minute. Now, have a look at this, right? This business is now... Wait, what? Right, how do you do this now? Meter... So watch this now. Meter... KJFK. 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 Right, try that, Murph. Let's see what happens. Do. You can text the thing. Look, quick, someone text them something funny. No, don't. Wait now. Can I do that? Scroll up here now. So we say meter. Yeah, it should be high. All right, hang on. We'll try high. High. I wonder, do I need to activate this in my phone? How do I do it? Go to your pilot, scroll down to... Oh, look, it worked. This is Greg. How can I assist you today? Oh, he's a Janie. Look, he's after texting me back. Meter KJFK. Will you know what it is? This is Greg from Aviation Ops. Hello, Greg. How are you guys? Great cracking me. Look, it did a thing. ATIS weather info for this airport. John F. Kennedy International Information Hotel. Right? Isn't that the devil? Okay, so VFR flight plan. EIME to EICK. Cessna 172. 3,500 feet. Request flight following. Let's see what it does here, look. No, Gibbo is not texting me. Brilliant. What I want to show you, that this is an entire feature that's just there. Copy your VFR clearance request, stand by. Get out of town. Cleared VFR to Cork, maintain VFR at or below 3,500 feet, departure on 122.0, squawk 5257, no read back required, safe flight. I've just planned a friggin' VFR flight. That is ridiculous. And you can do so with your mobile phone, lads. How incredible is that? It's very incredible, Murph. Right, isn't it? It's brilliant. Are we all impressed with that? After it only took me half an hour to set it up. Jesus, I'm moving stuff all over the place. Are we happy with that? Yes? No? Yeah? Yeah, Murph, well done. It's brilliant. Roaming charges apply. But no, it's on WhatsApp, so it's free. But anyway, lads, that is what the gadget can do. Isn't that brilliant, though? You can use your phone. I just thought it was fantastic. Now, stop sharing that screen because you wouldn't know what comes up on my phone.
Jesus.
Right, anyway, so that's how you do it. I'm going to send you this to their website, right? Have a look at this because you can use this with SayIntentions and this shows you how it works. All right? Who am I talking to? His name is Greg. How do I request? It basically tells you how to work it. What else can it do? Think of it as a general directory of aviation information. Ooh, isn't it brilliant? So of all the stuff that SayIntentions are doing, but they're doing all this as well. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right. Now, our last bit of news. Is there any events coming on this weekend? We had Cross the Pond last week. And, well, this weekend, friends, let's have a look. Skybridge to the Pearl. Ooh. Munich 11 to 11. Memphis in May, the FNO. Let's have a look at this one. The Memphis in May International Festival, a 1-month-long celebration featuring a variety of cultural events, including music, food, and sports, held annually in Memphis, Tennessee. Join as we celebrate our 4th annual celebration at the Memphis International Airport. This is a VATSIM event, all right? And I was walking there once in Memphis. You sure? Down at the Delta Blue. Were you down near the WC? It's class, right? All these VATSIM events, they're a lot of fun. And if you want to learn VATSIM, we're doing a full VATSIM course every Monday night. There's a ground school document that'll take you from absolute entry level all the way up to being comfortable and competent and confident flying on the VATSIM network. All right. But if you're unsure, well, you can listen in using observer mode, and it just gives you a good understanding of what in the world is going on. Do you know? So, yeah, that's happening this weekend, Saturday from midnight to 0400 Zulu. Friday into Saturday, right? Right. That, friends, was the news. And this, friends, is JFK. The enhanced version from iniBuilds. Now, we're going to have a quick look at this airport. Then we're going to have a look at ChasePlane, all right? Nothing there at the moment, Viper. I'm struggling to get some updates from FS Hub. Also, the Discord bot is down for tracking your flights, right? We know it's down. It should be back up in a couple of days, outside of our control. If anyone, however, would like to build a bot, let me know, and I'll pay you in drink. Yes. 777 is here. Good to see you. Got a challenge for you. We're all getting new guinea pigs next week and we're running out of names. The rest are named after superheroes. 2 new pigs are female. Can we get name suggestions, please? Mina and Mina. There's 2 of them, is there? There's our lads. And your chance to name guinea pigs. Female names into the chat. 777 will pick his 2 favourite. Go for it. Right. JFK. KJFK. That's it. The heart of the East Coast aviation, the upgraded JFK, one of the world's busiest and most iconic airports. This one is the iniBuilds enhanced version, meaning they've taken it from 2020 and they've enhanced it to make it work inside of 2024. And by doing so, it's able to take advantages of the new LOD system, meaning they can get an absolute barrel load of detailing and the sim will just load in section by section. Now, the airport itself, as you could have imagined, it is massive. They do have the TWA terminal, which is beautiful because we have our absolutely gorgeous the Connie is there, right? And there is a terminal interior done out here as well. This was flying back in the day, lads. This is how things looked. Do you know what I mean? Back in the 50s and 60s, earlier. Well, the 50s mainly. And yeah, it looks very, very nice. So that's at JFK. But the entire layout of the airport, it is massive. You can see you have these metro lines running all over the shop. All the terminals are done. And in true, outstandingly brilliant, whatchamacallit, attention to detail. Wait now, don't tell me they've moved them. We don't see them. Don't tell me they actually took the Skodas out of here because you don't see many Skodas in America. That can't be right. Is there no Skodas? They took out the Skodas, lads. Jesus, there's hope for you yet. They removed the Skodas. That's how realistic this is. But check it out. Isn't that only brilliant?
Hello there.
The air train is modelled. Bricklayer, thank you for the follow. You have the British Airways terminal. Right? And like, there's a ton of vehicles, there's a ton of stuff. I have noted 1 or 2 issues with some of the vehicles. They're floating. We got some floating vehicles. So I've let iniBuilds know, lads, you need to do a little bit of a thing with a yoke. They'll do it. So expect a patch for this very, very soon. But we're not going to we're not going to get too upset when it comes to the odd car here and there. It's an accurate layout of the airport. All the gates, all the terminals, the taxiways, absolutely stunning detail. Isn't it a huge facility? It's massive, isn't it? It looks so real. It looks incredible, right? And like the detail iniBuilds have gone into here, like it's You know what I mean? Like, I'll show you some of this stuff over here, look. Like, it's just absolutely stunning. I mean, look at the detail, lads. Look at that. Look at that. Like, that, it's photo perfect, like, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. And of course, taking advantage of the new Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 capabilities. And the LOD is a huge part of that. The level of detail, because it's done in kind of modules, right? Add this one, move it off, clear that out of the cache, download the new one, throw it in. It allows developers put an absolute barrel load of detail into their products now, and the sim doesn't have to load them all at the one time. It just takes what it needs, injects it, and then it moves on to the next area. And we do have some interior work done here, but not a lot, only because it's the sheer scale of this airport and the fact that you're beside one of the largest and busiest cities in the world. You're always going to be limited on how much detail can be put inside the interiors. They have done a bit, right? But the focus very much is on the accuracy of the buildings outside. But there's still quite a bit here. The various concourse, the Concorde concourse is still here. There's sufficient, right? There is sufficient detail with this scenery for JFK. And yeah, it's stunning. It's stunning, and it's staggering the amount of detail they've gone into it. Do you know what I mean? Now, I don't know, is that a sunken building or what's going on with me terrain? You do have to remove the streamed data. Yeah, that's like an LOD, hasn't happened yet. There's an issue. That is an issue. Maybe it needs a scenery reload. That doesn't seem right, does it? It doesn't seem right. Maybe it is. It doesn't seem right though. I'll talk to iniBuilds. But where it loads in, where you see the LOD load in, you might get the odd scenery pop, but you shouldn't notice any of that inside your normal flight sim environment. And the reason why I'm saying that is I'm moving around in the drone camera very fast. You're not going to be at this speed in and around the terminal. You know what I mean? I did muse, yeah, I deactivated the Asoba one, so maybe it just needs to refresh the cache. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the scenery cache, it's keeping the old files there. You have to delete it and move it on. But you get the idea anyway. Any sort of visual weirdness there, I'll talk to iniBuilds to say, lads, I've experienced this, and they'll probably say, Murph, just, you know, clear your cache and all will be well. But if we want to check it out here at night time as well, right? And there's cranes and everything. Like, they've done savage work here. I mean, look at the detail here. Sometimes you get rain, sometimes you don't. But let's have a look at the detail. And like, you know what I mean? Look at this, look. The lighting is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Everything on the air side of the terminals. The lighting is just insane. And we can't see that New York City backdrop because, well, I have it lashing rain. But you can see what the crack is, you know? Look here, like even the friggin' trains going around, they're all lit up as well. Look, it's very immersive, isn't it? Lots of detailing going on, and here we have a lot of terminal stuff in here now. The interior stuff. Look at this, lads. So there's quite a bit happening. It's a huge scenery, massive scenery. The American Airlines area. Look at this, lads. Asher, isn't that fantastic? Look, isn't it? JFK. It's just, they've done it so well. Really, really well. Look at that. That's savage looking. Beautiful. The night lighting is done superbly well here. Look at that in the distance, look. Isn't it gorgeous? So yeah, iniBuilds absolutely just smashing it with all these enhanced airports. They were phenomenal airports to start with. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find where it's raining, because sometimes you'll put it down to rain and it doesn't. Look at that. Look at the lighting on the tower. Look, isn't that superb? And like the towers are modelled as well. Like you have the interiors modelled. Look, isn't that very good? One up here now to the next one. Look, up you devil you. 3 levels of their ATC. That's mad, isn't it? 3 levels, 4 levels. There's a top one. Get out of town. Isn't that mad, lads? Yeah. Nice looking, yeah. The only real tower. It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's gorgeous, is what it is. Like, the detail is nuts. And again, like, if you get rid of the rain, you'll probably see the backdrop down in the distance. A few clouds. There you go. Like, there's your backdrop there by the tower. And that's all default now. That's default in the sim. Do you know? Isn't it very impressive? It's very, very impressive. So this is from iniBuilds. It is that of their John F. Kennedy Airport, and it's been enhanced now to work inside of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. And if you notice, as I'm moving around here, lads, this is New York. I have the Phoenix loaded in. Look at the performance. Because it's using the new LOD capabilities of Flight Sim 2024, you can do this sort of stuff now. Instead of the scenery having to load everything in all at the same time, it only puts in what it needs. It only puts in what it needs, and it makes it look absolutely stunning. I mean, look at that, look. Isn't that gorgeous? And like the size of the facility. We'll zoom out here. They got the JetBlue tower in there as well. Like, that's the facility down there, look. It's huge. It's massive. Do you know? And because we're using this LOD, you'll see the things start appearing. But in your normal flight sim environment, when you're just flying your aircraft to and from, you're never going to see that aggressive pop in or pop out. Plus, when it comes to configuring the scenery to work on your computer, you have the options inside the ini manager to turn things on or off depending on what sort of performance that you're getting. Dead handy. Dead handy, do you know? So great work here from iniBuilds. Anyone who has this in Flight Sim 2020, the upgrade path, it's about $5 to get you up and running into Flight Sim 2024. Right now, before we leave this, I know we want to look at ChasePlane, but while we're here in 2024, well, this is where I'm going to show you ReShade. All right. So if you want to learn a bit about ReShade, don't go anywhere. I'm going to show you my settings. This is how the sim looks with my settings of ReShade turned on. Right. That's the default sim. So that is the simulator as you would see it, with nothing going on with ReShade. This is the default view, yeah, and it's incredible, right? The lighting is very, very good. So that's the default view. And if I bring back in ReShade, do you see that very kind of, right? It's a very subtle but powerful little kind of change. It takes the kind of sepia out of the frame, and it punches the shadows up a little bit more. All right. So what I've done here, there is a program called ReShade, and what ReShade does, not unlike your NVIDIA filters, right? It's not a million miles from it. It just works differently because it'll affect the entire aircraft. So for example, right, again, we're going to show you some of the differences here between, let's get the right shadows in so it looks gorgeous. There we go. So this is the default sim view. And you'll all agree, yeah, Murph, looks nice, looks very nice. Okay. And then if I turn on ReShade, it just gives it that extra bit of oomph. You see the detail on the headrest, for example. You see the shadows really start coming to life, and it sharpens things up, right? There's subtle little differences. Now, how this works is there's a website called ReShade. It's called reshade.me, all right? And all you need to do, you go on over to ReShade, make sure your sim is turned off, and you download it. Now, this will work for any game. Anyway, you download the gadget, and what you want to do, you can download just the standard app, or you can download it with full add-on support, all right? I tend to just download the full add-on support. That's what I grab, right? So when I horse that in there, do I have ReShade already installed? I do. Now, when you start ReShade for the first time, I'll give you a link to this as well, right? Have a read up on ReShade. And there's loads of tutorials, lads, that you can do, all right? There's the link on into the chat there now. So when you download the application, it's going to say, hey, what's the game or the application that you're using? And if you can't find it, well, you browse to the location, yeah? And because we're using Flight Sim, you can't always pick the main application. But in this case, I'll go in to see, well, where do I have Flight Sim installed? Flight Sim 2024 content. You mightn't be able to pick the main Flight Sim 2024 application. If you can't, use the game launcher one instead. It's the same application, yeah? So once you select that, you'll click next, and then it goes, you know, show me its root folder. And then it pops in ReShade. When you start your sim, you're going to be met with a menu that looks like this, all right? And you can move this menu around, you can go messing with it, and it's going to go through the initial set you up. It's going to say, okay, this is what it can do, this is where you save your settings, and so on and so forth, all right? Right. What do we have here? Where's my zoom? So, right, I have a little button here to bring up a magnifying glass. You see that? That's using ReShade. Now, obviously, I can't use it on the menu system, but like, there's little things here that you can add into ReShade. These are all called shaders or little filters that you can use. All right. But anyway, what you're met with is the home screen. And with this, in this drop down on your home screen, the first thing I want you to do is go over to your settings, because this is where you're going to put in some of the controls to get this up and running. Okay? The overlay key, this is where you can set up all your shortcuts. The overlay key for me is when I press the home key in the sim. Home key brings up the menu. And then I have the effect toggle key. I just set it to page up. So whenever I press page up, it'll toggle the effects on or off. All right? So I can very simply turn them on or no, turn them off. So looking at the menu here, it's probably hard to see it. If you look at the menu here, over in the top right hand corner, you have an FPS counter. All right. So the frames are currently running at 107 frames. What if I turn on ReShade? They drop to about 90, and this will depend on where you are in the world, what the aircraft is doing, and so on and so forth. You also have another option down here that's called performance mode, right? Performance mode will be a little bit lighter on your system, and it depends on what ReShade filters you're using, right? That's going to have an impact on how this will work. If you turn off all of them, you're getting back to your maximum speed. If you only want to turn on one of them, you know, or use them one by one, your mileage is going to vary, all right? So inside your settings, make sure you've set up home and page up. They're just the keys I use, and if you're ever stuck, well, that's what you use, right? You can do screenshots, you can change the overlay, you can change the FPS counter where it is, left or right, what color it is, right? So I'm going to change that color because I can never see the shagging thing. So if we go to, like, you know, this green color, yeah, now you can see it's gone to this green color over there, right? You can do all this messing around. You can make that bigger if you need to. You know what I mean? Like, it's old school kind of messing around, but you can see what the crack is, right? Now, in order to get this working, you need to tell ReShade what preset you want to load. And it's going to ask you, hey, where is this stuff, right? Where is the filters? Okay? So you go into your root folder for your flight sim. So in my case, it's going to be in, you know, local disk, Xbox games, Flight Sim 24 content. That's where my flight sim lives, all right? And in here, you're going to have a new ReShade shaders. You're going to have a folder, or you're going to have what they call the DLL files and your DGI-X. These are the files that automatically go in there when you install ReShade. You'll see it. Come down here, you know, ReShade. Yeah? Okay. There's a folder in here then that says it's called ReShade. And if you go into the shaders, these are all the different shaders that are running, that you've installed or that you've downloaded, right? And if you do the, you know, the maximum supported version of ReShade, well, that's where they are. And then if there's any textures, well, that's how it's able to make this work. And you can edit some of these. I mean, you can really go in there and edit them, all right? That's all grand. If you then go into, you can add a folder, right? So there's one over here on flightsim.to. I'll show you. Because this is the base ReShade that I use, okay? So I'll show you this. Let me see, ReShade. And I have to give a shout out to the guy who made this preset because it is damn good. I just need to find it here now. There we go. And I'll give you a link to this as well, lads, right? So over on flightsim.to, this is called the Sealed Sky ReShade profile. And this guy will explain to you how to install it. This is what you do. This is how you make it work. Download it, run the installer, choose DirectX 10, 11 or 12, select all shaders, place the Sealed Sky preset into the same folder as the simulator's exe, i.e. your root folder, launch the sim, press home to open ReShade, and then complete the tutorial. In the ReShade menu, click the preset, drop down, select Sealed Sky and apply. That's it. That's all it is, right? And there we have it now. And this loads in, and it'll load in the filter, or load in the preset, and that's now up and running. All right? Are we happy enough so far? Yeah? Yeah. That's how it works, right? Now, if you would like my version, which I've tweaked, yeah, I have made some tweaks. If you rumble on over to our Discord, and if you come down to our flight sim section, Sim Help Support, and click on Murph's MSFS settings. Down at the very bottom of this, here is my ReShade file. Download that ReShade file and pop it into the same folder where you have your Sealed Sky preset. Because when you download the Sealed Sky preset from flightsim.to, they're going to tell you, put that folder inside your root folder. There it is. You'll have the preset. There's Sealed Sky, and there's my one, TTM. Drag and drop. Back inside your sim, bring up the menu, click on the drop down, yeah, and we're going to select the TTM and select. Give that a second to load up, and now you're using my preset. And I have other buttons assigned. They're just like shortcut buttons. I'm using a Stream Deck over here in the corner, so you can do this inside of your inside the options. I have these buttons, and I've set them up as, it's just a system hotkey, Control, Alt, and 1. Control, Alt, and 2. Control, Alt, and 3. And so on, right? That's what I use on my Stream Deck. And in order to do this, if you right-click any of these filters that you've turned on, or a group of them, you right-click, and see this? Click to select keyboard shortcut. Click in there, put in your keybind, whatever it's going to be, and then just tell your Stream Deck, hey, that's the one I'm going to use, right? So what does that mean for me? Well, it means I can do this sort of stuff by using different filters because I've assigned them to hotkeys. Make sense? And there's hundreds of different filters. You can play around with it. Have a bit of crack with them. You know what I mean? You know, night vision. We can go for this one. This took me too long to make. Right? If you want to have night vision in your sim just for the sheer crack of it. I also have this kind of nice bloom effect. It makes it beautiful at nighttime, and I'll show you the difference, lads, right? If you're looking at the sim at nighttime, it's amazing what one little filter can do, right? And there now. So give us a bit of come on over here, look. Like, it's amazing what a little bit of filter and a little bit of light can do, yeah? So here's like your normal nighttime scene in the sim. And then if I turn on my bloom effect, see that difference? See how punchy that's made? Like, do you see the difference of detail? And it's so subtle, you know? Nightsep, if you've a better way of doing it, let us know. But I'm just going by the way I know. Do you know what I mean? If my way is complicated, that makes a lot of sense. I overcomplicate everything. But if there's an easier way to do it, I'm all ears, man. I'm all ears. Let us know on Discord. You can see the difference, yeah? Like, put it this way. That's what ReShade turned off in its entirety, okay? That's ReShade turned on using my default preset. And then I have a button for bloom, specifically for nighttime, and it's now that screen. Can you see how much you can change the dynamics of how the sim is looking? And you're not messing with the sim engine. You're using ReShade, right? There is a performance impact, of course there is. But it's a one-stop, one set. You never need to worry about doing it again. ReShade often needs updates. The sim updates, ReShade will need an update, but it's going to remember your settings. What do you think? Handy? Not handy? You'll never use it? You'll always use it? And there's some mad friggin' filters you can get. This one here is like, you know, an 80s gun camera from an airplane. Wait to see this load up. Like, what? That's Flight Simulator. That's how it's looking on my screen. It's like right? You can do mad stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
It's mad. No. It'd almost be worth buying Murphy a ticket to come over here and completely program my sim and extra stuff. VHS sim, yeah. But you can do all of this using ReShade. The option is yours. You don't need to do this at all. Just I've been asked the question, Murph, how do you get the stuff looking like that? This is how I do it. And as I said, if there's if there are easier ways to do it, absolutely. I only know my way. I can't tell you someone else's way. This is what I do. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, as I said, like if NightSep, if there is an easier way, like I learn from that as well. Do you know what I mean? All right, and then if you want to go daytime, you can do all sorts of different filters, but like you can really make it punch. Like go for this time of the day and add that bloom effect in as well. Like it punches the whole scene. You know what I mean? In the ReShade setup, which boxes do I tick? Sorry, can you be more specific? So the link I just gave you for the flightsim.to file, the Seal Sky preset, just follow his instructions there. Yeah, that'll tell you what way to set it up. But anyway, lads, that's ReShade. Have we any questions? Are we all happy? Not happy? Terrified? Not terrified? What you reckon? This one here, the boxes that you're ticking, just insert my just insert the template from Discord. These are automatically activated for you. You know? And like, look, this, you click on them, you see the screen will change straight away when you start messing with different filters, yeah? Find what works for you. This is what works for me. Do you know? Slant Alpha, good to see it. Yeah, it's like, you know, bring it back to the way it was in the 80s. We're not ready for this new fancy 4K, you know. That's quite nice there, look. Look at the differences you can make. Isn't it gorgeous? Post my settings in Discord. Yeah, drop them into the whatchamacallit, into the Sim House support if you can, NightSep. Even under mine. Do you know, if you go into my settings, just drop it in there. Because if there's an easier way, we love the easier way. Do you know? Wherever you drop them, we can move them after that. But appreciate that. I set it up the weekend for ETS. Yeah, it looks grand. Yeah, you can use it on other games. You can use it on other games, lads. You know what I mean? But that's what I use it for. Alright. Reload the TTM one, switching to Seal Sky, or it'll switch to the TTM one, whatever one you prefer. Alright? Lovely hurdling. So that is ReShade. Now, lads, we're going to go over to the world of Flight Sim 2020, and that sim has crashed. It does that every now and again. With Innie's aircraft, or not, that was the Phoenix, so it crashed with the Phoenix. Interesting. Anyway, over to Flight Sim 2020 now, because we're going to be checking out two things. We're going to be checking out, can't sync your data. Listen, don't worry about it. Try it again. We're going to be checking out Dallas Fort Worth, and then we're going to be checking out ChasePlane. All right? We'll do tomorrow. Thank you, NightSep. The thing is, VHS in the 80s was fine. It was the cheap stuff from the 90s that was crap. Oh, there you go.
Oh, Jesus.
I need to make it look crap again. I love that Slant Alpha. Hope you're well, mate. Looking forward to Expo. But yeah, have some fun with ReShade anyway. And like, if it all goes wrong, just remove ReShade. Problem's gone. Yeah. There's a ton of different filters you can get out there. Have fun with it. Right, so Imagine Sim have released Dallas Fort Worth for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We're still waiting on a version to come out for 2024, but at the moment, the only way you can buy this scenery, it's £24.99. It ain't cheap at all. Ain't cheap. So we're going to be checking this one out tonight, right? So from their store page, as a way for the sim to load up, from the store page, it says Fort Worth is the world's second busiest airport and at the very heart of American Airlines operations. It's simply enormously huge in scale and statistics. The airport is larger than Manhattan Island. 88 million passengers use the airport each year, flying to 265 destinations in 37 countries, including a mammoth 17-hour non-stop Qantas flight to Melbourne. Is it working okay, Muse, in 24? It's also one of the world's most foremost logistical centers with cargo routes extending right across the globe. It's huge, right? And now is our chance to check it out in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So Muse has it working in 2024, which is good news. Its official support is Flight Sim 2020. All right. So we're going to check it out in Flight Sim 2020 to see how it all behaves. As I said, this was released as early access and then like alpha and beta and all this sort of jazz, which was kind of interesting. You know what I mean? Old veteran, he's a controller at DFW on VATSIM. So I've flown to this airport twice in the real world. It's huge. It's massive. The train goes for friggin' ages, like the monorail gadget. Hey, Larry is here. Good to see you, Larry. Flew glitches here and there, but it seems okay. All right. Well, we're going to check it out here now. And it's still evolving. As in the scenery is still evolving, as is the real world airport. They're adding in new terminals and doing all this stuff here now, you know. But we're going to be checking this one out to see how it fares out in Microsoft Flight Sim. And then we're going to be looking at ChasePlane as well. So we're just going to wait for the old simulator to load up here in the background. L2020 by. Some of the screenshots are beautiful and the night lighting looks quite impressive. I'm looking forward to checking this out. Now, there is a load manager for this. You have this operations center. So Dallas, and then you go to tools. And where is this now? If you go to Dallas, see this scenery kind of options here. You can load in. Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want the other? Yeah. Hey, Jefferson 2001 is here. Good to see him, dude. The man, the myth, and the legend has rambled in. Good to see you, Jeb. Jefferson, you're going to Expo, right? Guybrush, welcome in, Guybrush. Good to see you, man. Hope you're well. The Impossible Face. Oh, yeah. So, look, these are all the options we can do. Scenery options. I've turned everything on full blast because I want to see what it's going to do, right? And we're just waiting here on Flight Sim 2020 to load in. Do you know? Does anyone else have the scenery yet? Or are you on the fence kind of saying, I want it, I just haven't got it? I am. You're looking forward to it. Nice one, Jefferson. Yes. It will be punch and pie. Yes. Jefferson, did you see there's a Murphy's pub out the road? As in walking distance. I'm just saying, you'll find me there, you know, with free drinks. Granted, they're glasses of water, but that's not important right now, you know. 1.1 million points now. It's across the street almost. Yeah, that's all, Scott. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Do you know? 1.1 million points now. What's that, Super Tide? The Firefly Air? I would say so, yeah. There's a Murphy's pub in every town. There is, yeah. Especially the ones where it's not public, you know. Port Elzit is still roasting. Man's it. It is warm out there, lad. It is warm out there. Oh, channel points. Super Tie has 1.1 million channel points. You're joking. Jesus. Let's have a look at this. Hello from Tennessee. Ronnie Dillard. Good to see you, Ron. Hope all is well. Very happy Wednesday to you. Yes, we're going to load in Dallas Fort Worth. And then I want to take you through ChasePlane. Because I've had a little bit of time to mess with ChasePlane. You can turn off the lights in the entire gaff for that. Right? Brilliant. We'll go through ChasePlane. I'll tell you exactly what I think. And yeah, we'll just let the sim load up here now. Come on now, Betsy, you can do it. I have a lot of stuff in my Flight Sim 2020 folder right now. That's why this is taking a bit of an age. But yeah, that looks like a nice little airport. This is taking for ages. Come on, get up, go on, get in, go on, get up. Go on, get up, get in. But man yourself. Right, so let us go for an aircraft that I don't have any cameras, because I want to show you from start to finish, right? And it doesn't have to be an airliner, although we are going to Dallas Fort Worth. Let's go for this guy. Let's go for the dirty bird. Right, so we're going to KDFW, isn't it? KDFW. In you go, you big jet. Oh, mother, the size. This size. Scott, where would the big heavies park in this guy? Well, anywhere, says you. They're all big. Gate D30. That looks good to me. Right, let's load in and see what happens. I remember when they were building Fort Worth, really, yeah? Limbix, good to see you, Limbix. Hope you're well. Ron, thank you very much indeed. Tima says, already bought ChasePlane, just waiting on 2024 for now. Oh, yeah. MD-11, you big roid. You're right. The place is vast. It's massive, lads. It's massive. So we're going to be checking this one out. We're going to move around the scenery to see what we can see, and all should be well in the realm. We shall hope. We shall hope. You're going to notice straight away, straight out of the box, my camera systems are going to be... I'm after bashing me heel. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that was really sore. The camera system is completely overridden. Overrided.
Oh, Jesus.
It's completely shagged because ChasePlane overrides the default Microsoft Flight Sim camera system. And you'd be like, what? What? Fear not, don't worry, it's grand. Right. Having a hard time downloading the ini file from your Discord. What's it not doing, Chris? Is it coming up as like, are you sure? Is it a virus? It's on Discord, so like, you should be sound. There was a Murphy's Bar in Salt Lake City a few years ago. A step down from the other social clubs. Unconfirmed download. Check your antivirus, Chris. Now, waiting to see this now. We probably haven't flown the MD-11 in so long, it's going to take a while to load in. Windows doesn't trust your file. I wouldn't either. I've got to figure out how to take control of the exe. Yeah. Just tell it to keep the file. Yeah, just tell Windows to keep the file. It's a ReShade file. I can't do anything else. You know. Or you can open it as... You can look at it on Discord and just like copy the values one by one, but you'll be there for a long time figuring that one out. Far left is cargo and maintenance. Ah, grand. Okay, sweet. Right, we're just going to wait for this to load in. This is a bad choice for an aircraft, but the idea behind this was there's no camera set up for this aircraft, and I want to show you setting up the cameras. All right. Or maybe the sim just won't load. I don't know, lads. We could be laughing or not laughing. Oh, look at the cargo over there on the left.
Jesus.
Look. Yeah. Cargo to the left. Okay. The MD-11 takes ages first time to load. Yeah, it's taking her sweet ass time there. I always fly the cargo variant. I've actually gone with the passenger variant. That's probably why. But as I said, we're having a look at two things here. Dallas-Fort Worth, and then we're going to be looking at ChasePlane. And if you're on the fence about either, well, hopefully this is going to give you enough information to say yay or nay. You know what I mean? Hydrospace, welcome in. UBS has a large hub here, as does FedEx. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. And like when you talk about hubs, when we landed in Dallas, we had to get a train, then we got a taxi out of the car rental, right? And that was a good 10 minutes away. Did we get a bus or a taxi? It was a bus. It was a bus. No. Fornax, technically it is, but MuseFan has it working. MuseFan has it working. MF Gore says, my wife is FA for American Airlines. I know this airport more than I want to. No way. No way. Flight attendant? No way, mate. Bus that is supplied. Yeah, bus is supplied. Yeah. 100%. Right, come on, you devil and node. The first time you put a complex liner into Flight Sim, it takes a while just to figure out what it is. So that's why it's loading as long as it is. But fear not, lads. I've every faith in your confidence that this is going to be absolutely grand. You know, the upgrade to 24 will be free. So I said I'd buy it early and try it out. Yeah. So if you have, if you're thinking about getting Dallas-Fort Worth for the sim for 2020, well, they're going to give you a free upgrade to 2024 when they have it ready. It's just not ready yet. You know what I mean? But it will be 97.8%. I hope this works. Already bought it, but had issues loading it. Are you having the sort of issues I'm looking at? She's going to load. Come on, don't crash. Load, you devil. There you go, you devil. Right. This is going to be great gas altogether now because I don't have any camera set up. Okay. GSX. Easy. Okay. Okay. Oh. Here we go. Yes. Oh, that's not going to work. Right, hang on. Before I do anything, don't mind me for a minute. No, that's SimFX. Hello, ChasePlane. Hello, Flow. Pilot. Edit. Adjust. I'm going to show you what all this is now in a minute, so don't be worrying, lads. All is well. It's all grand now, so it is, right? Oh, wait. Balls. That's wrong. Here we go. Need to delete all those. I'll show you those now in a minute. D. D. A new version of ChasePlane is out. That's okay. Right. So what we're going to have a look at here, lads, is, yes, Dallas Fort Worth. All right. Now, I don't have me very fancy drone, but, you know, we'll have to make do for the moment. Right. Yeah, you can see it's a dirty bird. So straight away, lads, I haven't looked at this scenery yet. So what I'm seeing is what you're seeing, and what you're seeing is what I'm seeing. Straight away, look at the scale of this. Let's just zoom out here. We get kind of an idea of how big this place is, will we? Do we need a tour? Yeah. Scott is the man to ask. Scott knows this airport inside and out. He lives very close to it, and he also does VATSIM controlling here. So yeah, Scott's the man when it comes to this, right? So Dallas Fort Worth, bit of a rocky start in the sim because, as I said, there's a bit of controversy around. Wait, they're gonna do like, you know, it's like a pay to access an early access kind of stuff, yeah. Now, just forgive my camera movements as I'm getting ready and getting used to things, because the camera system I'm using is ChasePlane, of course, right? So there's a nice kind of view there. That gives us an idea of what's happening, all right? So here's the outline. We'll probably go higher here. This is the outline of the airport, right? And like you can see the scale of this, lads, right? Considering these are all jetways, that's an MD-11, which is an absolutely frightfully massive airplane. You get the idea, right? You get the idea. So this is a huge scenery, right? But what I wanted to do, well, let's get, you know. Oh, yes. Right? Straight away. Straight away. Look at that lighting, look. Isn't that gorgeous? And again, I'm using all my ReShade stuff, but that's just what I do. Isn't that gorgeous? We've got a bloom in here. Where's the bloom? Which bloom is it? That's a bit kind of heavy, isn't it? Yeah. Control Alt and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I press this. Control Alt 7. Yeah, there we go. Right, perfect. Right. So this is the kind of the layout of the airport. Looks massive, doesn't it? Huge. So we'll go exploring. Man, I've missed flow. Missed it. So let's have a look. 7. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 terminals with number 6 being built, and there's plans for 7. Isn't that right? I think that's right. Okay. Let's ramble down here, lads. The scale, right? This scale, right? 5 terminals, yeah. So like, okay, there's your rail. So don't worry about the rail for the moment. Let's ramble into where the stuff is happening. There's the little Skylink. The details down at the jetways, look, Jesus, look at the detail on the jet. They're beautiful. And considering the scale of this, right? And they have a little bit of interior stuff done. Look, there's a bit of an interior going on there. Yeah? Nothing wrong with that. Visual docking guidance system. More jetways. More lighting. Like, you know, you're dealing with like just attention to detail all over the place. And what makes this place friggin' nuts, lads, it's the sheer size of it. Do you know what I mean? It's the scale of this airport. That's what makes it impressive. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Like, okay, there's probably not a lot of interior stuff, but I'm not too worried on the interior stuff. 2 control towers, look. Jesus. I mean, look at that. Look at that view there, look. Oh, look at that. Brilliant. So there's the Skylink. He's booting it around. He goes around to, it's like 15 minutes from terminal to terminal, or from like one end of the place to the next, right? Right, move along here now. Go to the next area. And one thing about Texas is how you know you're in Texas. The American flags that they have on the roads, they're absolutely massive, huge. Like, look at all the ground clutter that you have. Like, it's class, lads. Look at that. I'm well impressed. And you know what? The performance, it's absolutely brilliant. I'm having no impact on frame rates here. What are my frame rates? 94 frames? No, with an MD-11? Absolutely no problem. Look at this. You got interiors going on. Now, they're basic, but like... You still have interiors, right? It's very nice. So we'll head over to one of the two towers. There's a couple of towers here. I love this here now. Look at the, oh, that's beautiful looking, man. Look at that. I'll never forget the heat. The heat in Dallas is frightening. Jeez, that's done very well. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. The performance is fantastic. Excellent performance. Parking over to the right. We got a tower here, look. One of two towers, look. Is there an interior? This doesn't look like there's an interior. No interior. Bit of a pity, but... Opportunity missed. Are they like smaller towers? DFW, what are they for? Jesus, lads, look at the scale of the place, look. Mainly for tours in the event they have to shut them down. They're lights. The lights are the size of control towers, right? Skylink, off he goes. Isn't it very good, isn't it? That's class, man. And then, of course, yes, you have all the freighter stuff over the far side. There's the American Airlines hangar. There with more. That's maintenance. There's UPS. And again, like, look at the amount of ground clutter that they have. Murph, did you get 2024 from Steam? Negative. I got it from the Microsoft App Store. Look at the detail. FedEx as well. Look. Now, if memory serves me, hang on now. The car rental crowd. That's American. The car rental crowd was out the road a little bit. Jesus, look at the size of the warehouses. The car rental was out the road a bit. Or am I... Oh, what am I thinking? Was that Dallas... Or was that Houston? I'm thinking Houston. There is a car rental here, but it's out the airport, isn't it, Scott? It's out there, yeah. Senior Lusgate, there's way too much ambient occlusion. Look for the big orange sixth banner. Yeah. Yeah, it's on the airport. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was Houston Muse. I'm a terrible idiot. Oh, look at this! There's the fire training neck of the woods. Isn't the scale scary, lads? Look at the size of the place. And you can actually, they have a building site where they're building the 6th terminal. You have another tower out there. Yeah, man, it's class. It really is. What do you think? Do you like it? We'll go for nighttime textures now down, just to see what the other reflections are like, will we? Do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. That's done very well, isn't it? Get very fancy now, Murphy. Ah, lads. Isn't that something else? This is Flight Sim 2020. Isn't that gorgeous? You can sleep to that noise. We got the far side. So the Grand, what was it, Hyatt? Wait. That's very impressive. Isn't that gorgeous, lads? Nice one. In the lashings of rain, it's just very, very pretty. That's stunning, man. Absolutely gorgeous. Heard a lot of that thunder today, really, yeah?
Jesus.
Alright, back to kind of live conditions. I'm really impressed with the, there's the wind. I'm really impressed with the FPS, the frame rates. Jeez, they're brilliant. Yeah, I'm happy with my purchase of Dallas Fort Worth. That is for sure. Forgot how good 2020 could look. Yeah. 2020 is very good. Gesundheit, I needed to sneeze. Right, now what are we doing? Oh yeah. Dallas Fort Worth, lads. Hope you like it. It's very good. And well, we'll have to do some flights over this neck of the woods very, very soon indeed. Now, ChasePlane. ChasePlane. First and foremost, ChasePlane comes, when you install it, it comes with an excellent tutorial. And I mean an excellent tutorial. This thing will hold your hand.
This tutorial will guide you through the basic setup of ChasePlane. To ensure you have the best experience, we'll need about 15 minutes of your time.
Okay. It's a step-by-step how to get everything up and running, right? Now, I've done the tutorial and I'm happy with it, and they've done an incredible job with it. You won't have any problems. And if you do have problems, well, you can go onto the Discord and talk to Parallel 42, right? The main concerns people are having is because it overrides your default Microsoft Flight Sim camera settings, right? And that was my biggest concern, is like, I can't deal with this. I'm really liking ChasePlane now, right? Hey, Coxbird dev team, Seb, we're in Dallas. That's where we're at. Hope you're well, mate. So my worry was, listen, how can I get my basic flight sim controls to work, yeah?
Oh, Jesus.
In ChasePlane? Well, I'm going to show you, right? By default, right click and drag moves your mouse. All right. And then your roller ball will zoom you in and zoom you out. All right. Well, let's open up the gadget. Now we have pilot. Now, why isn't that camera moving actually? There's a new version, but let's hold off on that at the moment. I'm going to delete a whole load of cameras, right? Because I want to show you. Now, there is a little bit of a setup here, but once you have it set up, it's absolutely brilliant. Now, there might be a way to quickly delete all of these cameras. I'm not sure, but I want to just delete a few of them. And the important thing here is, lads, you've no restrictions now on the number of views you actually want to have in an aircraft, okay? Now, I can download shared profiles from other users if I want. It's doing a pretty good job at finding custom views already, but I'm going to put in my own views, all right? Because I prefer my views. So just bear with me now. We delete all of these. Threshold have confirmed PMDG release date. I think it's tomorrow, yeah. Right, that's almost exactly what it is. That's almost exactly what it is, right? So let me see. Left. View shortcut should be number 4. Save assignment. Okay, but why isn't it moving the camera, lads? There's a new, let me see, there's a new update. I'll grab that later. Let me see here now. Delete these. Delete. Delete. I'm sure I could have just went with like a new profile, but anyway, we won't worry. Right, so we pilot view. Let's go into this. Pilot view, yes. Assign a group, no. Using smart view, share view, change the group, pilot group, that's okay. View shortcut, delete that, press any button. Save. Okay. Left view. Adjust. Save. Back. And that should be good. So I've 0 and I've there, right? These are my flight sim. These are my normal views. I now want a view over here to the right, so we're going to click on create a view. It's a pilot view, right? Going to call it right. We're going to go next. We're going to edit the right view. We're going to adjust it, move it in the direction that you want. You can zoom in or zoom out, save it, and we're going to save a key to it. I'm going to press my key that I'd always use, right? Now I have the familiarity between some of the views I would always use using my num key. Yeah, that's how I use all my views, right? Let's go a little bit further. Let's say now we want to set up like an action camera, like a GoPro. All right. What type of camera do you want to do? Is it an instrument camera? Is it like a human camera? Is it a hard mounted camera? Yes. Horizontal gimbal. This is going to keep the horizon dead straight. This one here, we're going to call this one, I don't know, dash cam. And I'm going to edit this. I'm going to adjust the position. I'm going to zoom in, something like this. Easy now, easy now. And this is going to treat it as if it was like a fixed position. Yeah. Something like that'll do. Save that. And then we're going to give it a view shortcut. That can be a key or a button or anything, Stream Deck. All of that stuff, right? This saved us from EasyDock and FSX. It's kind of the same idea, yeah? All right, so there's another one. Let's go now. These are porthole views. I'll delete them. I can put my own ones in there, yeah? And these are just standard views now. You know, I'm not going into, like, wait to see the crack you can do with this bit of stuff. It's nuts. All right. Let's do a new view. Let me see. We're going to move back to. Oh, hang on. Actually, we're going to go for the overhead.
Jesus.
So we're going to go for the overhead view, right? So put you out with me way there for a minute. Now, these cameras have physical-based movements, the physics, right? So there's a good camera there. We're going to add a view. It's a pilot view. It's a human view, and we're going to call this one overhead. There's overhead. Edit the view. I'm going to give it a shortcut key. Save that. And now I have 0, 1, 4, 6. You get the idea, yeah? Right. This is ChasePlane, Dan. Yeah, this is ChasePlane. Now, you have all these external views as well. Right? And you can assign this to a keyboard. You can a keyboard button. You can assign these to anything, right? Then you have the world. You have the tower view. It'll automatically find the nearest control tower. How cool is that? It automatically finds it, yeah? Also, the nearest parking spot to you, the nearest runway to you, just by a click of a button. It'll also show you then some of the other airports in the locale. And you just click on them, it'll show them. Or you can add additional world ones. World camera, a default group, the tower, parking, or miscellaneous. This is like a floating one. All right. Track the aircraft. Yes. So Adam controls. Yeah. This camera view that I'm creating will always track my aircraft. Yeah. And we're going to call it runway. Sure, why not? So wherever my aircraft goes, this camera now automatically tracks it. Now, I don't know how you're going to do that on VATSIM because it'll have to track a specific target, right? Toby doesn't work with this at the moment, lads. But they are working on it. They said they'll get that working. All right. All right. Go back inside our plane here for a minute. Then you have some of the cinematic stuff. Click of a button. That's automatic cinematics moving around my aircraft. I haven't touched anything, right? So if I want to get very, very fancy here, watch this now. We'll go to GSX. We'll go to board the aircraft. American Airlines. Why not? There's the jetway moving, right? And if I come back inside, we'll go ahead and get the battery on.
Autopilot.
Just get the aircraft up and running. Let me see. Payload, no. Services. Passengers. Cargo. Right. This is now on what I call autopilot. And if you want to make the thing look even more convincing, just enjoy the cinematics, right?
Do you want to board crew? Pilot's boarding starting.
That's just GSX here in the background doing their own stuff, right? But you can see, like, I don't need to worry now. Look at the experience I can get now in the sim. I'm not worried about friggin' loading anything, moving anything. I'm just watching the aircraft being loaded from the likes of GSX. Isn't that brilliant? It turns into a cinematic look. And I'm just sitting back enjoying it, lads. So you get the idea, right? I mean, this is fully customizable. I have buttons set up to my controls to say, hey, look, I'm finished that. Get me back inside the cockpit, right? Or I can press a button on my joystick, put me into cinematic mode, and if I need to, I can just press the trigger on my joystick, get me back inside the... Hang on, I need to set up for this. Hang on. Watch this. So my controls, I've always set a default bind. If I hit the trigger button on the joystick, load me back into my position. So the pilot view, this is my default position. So I can edit that. I can add an additional shortcut. Watch this. View shortcut. I'm going to add another one. All right, it's picked up. That button is now on the 0 key on my numpad, and it's also on the trigger on my joystick. So I'm in this cinematic view, and suddenly ATC are talking to me. I need to do something. Click my joystick. I'm back into this home position. This camera system, lads, and I'm not messing when I say this, it is a game changer. It really is, because you're probably saying, Murph, it's only cameras. Yes, it is only cameras, but this is doing things when it comes to like cinematics and drone stuff. It's giving you default parallel 42 chase plane cinematics automatically. You can also tweak these yourselves. You can create the friggin' transitions. You can say, no, move in here. I want the transition to be 10 seconds or, you know, a minute, right? Bring me now to these fixed cameras. So here's the plane looking at the ramp. Here's the tower view again. Clicking a button, I have all these controls now. Here's the runway view. Like, you have all of these options. And you can edit these options because you just need to give it the new controls. And because I have this camera to lock on my aircraft, right? It's going to try and stay locked on the aircraft. It's friggin' nuts. Change view. This is like a drone cam, yeah? Now, I haven't figured out how to get this working with my Xbox controller. I will. But it's absolutely class. The power of this camera system. And I love the drone camera. That's my bread and butter. I've always done work on the drone camera. But this is a different kettle of fish, lads. It's almost giving you like X-Plane like camera controls, you know? So how does this work if I have instruments open in another window? If I'm having the Mac Do open on a second screen and setting the plane up and stuff, it shouldn't impact that. I mean, if you have an instrument on another screen, look, right? I can pop that onto another screen. That instrument is now on my other, well, you can't see it, but that instrument is on my other screen. And I can still mess around with, like, that instrument is still on my other screen here beside me. Because I popped it out. Throw it back in, there it is. Throw it back on another screen, there it is. And I can still utilize ChasePlane on my main monitor. So if you're using a multi-screen setup, you can go bananas. I have all my pop out are on another screen. This is just affecting the main screen. You know what I mean? Isn't it very good? I'm like, it's so incredibly powerful. I'm like, you know, you can interact with the aircraft as it's moving. The tutorial on it, I think, is excellent. You won't have any worries because they're going to hold your hand all the way through. But that's only starting to scratch the surface. So they're the main group of cameras. You have internal cameras, external cameras, world cameras, and these are where your cinematics live. Yeah? So you can set up all sorts of different cinematic cameras and cycle it, right? Now, if you want to go into the menu, we can go to groups. You can also give these camera groups. They can be tuned and applied to various camera views across all your aircraft. So you can say, okay, hard mounted groups. And what you can do with these are, you're going to say, well, look, I want these certain cameras to react to the physical forces in the plane, as in head shake and roll, or I don't want any of these things to move, or I want a chase camera, any view that is loosely attached to the aircraft, like from an aircraft chasing it. So I can go in here to the chase cam settings, the theme, and give it a group name, head tracking, right? Transition in and out, transition duration, or share the group. Then you can say what firmness, the intensity, the touchdown effect, the aircraft effects, follow the aircraft orientation. You can have the thing aim off if there's winds hitting it. Like, it is nuts. The detail and the depth that you have for these cameras is nuts, right? Internal, pilot, watch this now. Human, yes. Head tracking is on, enables head tracking with track IR. It doesn't have whatchamacallit. It doesn't have Toby working in there yet. But they'll get there. I know they'll get there. You know what I mean? So let's set up another view while we're here. Let's see. Let's go back here because I like setting up these views. And again, I'm able to move these cameras around, right? Because I said ChasePlane, look, I want you to use these controls to move me around. So if we go into the menu and we go to preferences, control assignments. So see here, this is class. Your mouse, it's detecting all your controls, right? So if I use my Xbox controller, if I select the Xbox controller, right, and I'm going to say, right, make sure to remove controls from your simulator that are showing conflicts. And it's going to open up a little video over here. And it's going to say, hey, this is how you make sure you don't have any conflicts, right? Oh yeah, hang on, didn't I have a fucking another button for that? What? How did I get to that button? Was that I had a button set for that. See that filter they added? Look at that! It's a binocular filter. Click of a button, turn on my binoculars. And look how much you can zoom in. Like, it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Hey, Wombi is here. Good to see you, man. Very happy Wednesday. Isn't that class looking? They're binoculars. Does it remember controllers turned off and on using hubs? Yeah, like once the sim detects the controller, ChasePlane will see that controller. Yeah? You see here from the menu. Go back in here to preferences. Once it's connected, it'll work, right? And then it's going to say, right, show me the cheat sheet. Another video pops open for that. Control assignment wizard.
ChasePlane is a complete override of the default camera system in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It allows for powerful camera control,
Carenado, good to see you.
and physics.
So what they're saying here is, if you're worried, you can set all this so the mouse, just like default, you can use the right mouse button. It's all part of the tutorial. But if you're worried that ChasePlane has broken something, you can just deactivate ChasePlane and your cameras default back to their normal, what you've set up. It's not actually deleting your original camera controls, it just disables them. Take ChasePlane out of there, it goes back to your original controls, right? So you can see, look here, your mouse functions. All right, pause motion and interaction. Okay, control assignments, scroll to zoom, they're all there. The profile, the speeds of all your controls, how they all move. Cinematics mode, auto start, shot duration, camera behavior, right? Enables ChasePlane control assignments while the sim is in slew mode if you want. Enable motion in VR, right? Reduce motion when stationary. Your initial binocular zoom. And now here's your backup. You can back up all these to the cloud. And then you have maintenance if there's any problems. You can kind of see the depth of this. This is not just a little, small little, like, this is huge. Let's look at community. It's now going to find, hey, are there views already set up for this aircraft? Yeah, there is. Okay, well, show me this one. This one is by Unsafe Waffle. Import the views or have a look at the views, right? So I can say, well, show me them. So that's the pilot view he set up. All right, what about this overhead view? Oh, look, people already have these. Here's an engine start view. Here's the MCP. So see all these views? I can import these and use them myself. So if you don't want to set up all these views, chances are there's going to be views for out here. So look, left engine forward, right engine forward, left wing, right. Like, you can import all of these views and then save them to your own keybinds, put them on a stream deck. Doesn't matter. And you're no longer limited to like 9 custom views. It's unlimited. You can have as many views as you wish. It's unbelievable, right? So there are the views, the groups. Let's look at groups. Spot view, passenger, hard mounted views, ground services. All right, let's look at the ground services one. Or miscellaneous, human, skip transfix. All right, instruments, taxi, chase, import selected group. Loading, import. Back to me menu, main. And let's have a look here. It should, they're all the other airports. It's still trying to load here, so we'll give it a moment. But this will add additional cameras. And how is the binding to Stream Deck or such working then? Stream Deck to a key. Yeah. And again, this the tutorial will actually go into that for you. And there's more information over on the Parallel 42 website. You know, I mean, you can put your views into friggin' flow if you wish. You know what I mean? Very, very powerful.
Let's have a look at the ChasePlane user interface. Here you'll find internal and external views for your aircraft, along with world cameras, organized. In the top left, you'll find the navigation.
If you're stuck anywhere, just hit the help and you're laughing.
Main pages of ChasePlane.
Exit the tutorial, right? Your main, so they're your 3 groups. Your preferences are all here then. Camera movements, camera actions, ChasePlane features, toggle cinematics, next cinematic view, binoculars, go to flyby, go to drone, go to next parking, go to nearest tower, smart view, and you assign your keys to activate any of these, yeah? Applications, so toggle ChasePlane, turn it on or off, enable or disable. All right. Have PMDG confirmed the 777 release for tomorrow? I think so, yeah. Threshold have it there, I think, Dougal. And it's releasing tomorrow, Dougal, between 1600 and 2359 Zulu. That's the PMDG 777.
This way, please.
Anyway, ChasePlane, lads, this thing I think is an absolute game changer. I was so apprehensive about using ChasePlane because I've always used Microsoft's default camera system, right? I've always used it, but now using ChasePlane and having those sort of cinematics out of the box without me having to worry about anything. And I'll tweak it more. Like, I want to get my Xbox controller back working instead of having to use the keyboard using this kind of stuff. Because you know what I'm like? I like to use kind of fancy cameras and that. But you get the idea, don't you? No performance hit. I haven't noticed any performance at Adam, yeah. No performance at all. Like, when you're doing the cinematics, you might get a bit of LOD coming in, but I haven't seen any performance. 76 FPS in this view. No, there's no performance hit, mate. None at all.
Good evening.
So that's ChasePlane. What do you think? I can tell you, it's more than just a simple kind of camera fix. I was terrified because it's overriding all your default cameras. I was like, I can't be dealing with this. But because I can configure ChasePlane to work just as my default cameras do, it's only a matter of adding the cameras in, yeah? I mean, these are keybinds that I use on every aircraft. Do you know what I mean? Overhead. There's my overhead. Alright, look out the left window. That's out the right window. Let's set up a new view, right? So we'll go to ChasePlane. We'll come down into, is it an internal, external, or world camera? I'm going to do a new internal camera. Alright, what's it going to be? It'll be a pilot view. I'll say next. What one are you going to call this one? We're going to call this one MacDo. Alright. Now we're going to edit it. We're going to adjust the movement, and look at these controls for moving. You can use your keyboard and mouse, or you can use these virtual joysticks. Give it a second, she reloads. Right? So I'll just use my keyboard and mouse for this. Alright, let's go with that. Save the position. Back. Shortcut for this view. Let's call it number 3. Save it. Is there any conflicts? See the way it was asking you, is there any conflicts? So now I'll go from that view to that view. And if that animation is if the transition, sorry, is a little bit too fast for you, if you're not happy with that, going, no, you can slow all that down. It's very customizable, yeah? And it adds in like the blur and all that kind of stuff as well. I see this work, especially from sharing with community. Only doubt is which keybinds to reserve for ChasePlane and clean them up in Microsoft Flight Sim, not to double bind them. Well, Carney, it will remove all of your previous keybinds for camera controls. It removes them. So if you're used to using certain keybinds to bring up your views, you just need to configure ChasePlane to use them keybinds once again. That's where there's a little bit of work. And I've read there, one of the updates, I think you can now import them as well. You know? Fort Noob said, is it true that if it doesn't carry over saves from different variants, most of us probably all do similar cameras for the Phoenix planes, do you have to set them for each plane? Each aircraft type, yes. Yes. So I have this is the passenger variant of the MD-11. I have the I already set up views inside the cargo variant. They didn't transfer to this. I needed to set them up again. However, my default keys are already configured. Like, I have a button here, regardless of the aircraft, turn on the cinematics. All right, go to the next chase camera. All right, so they're default across the entire fleet. It's only these specific cameras that you need to set up. Just as you would already in Flight Sim. That's a Flight Sim limitation. That wouldn't be a Parallel 42 one, I think, you know? Pangoli, welcome in. Patrick Dawes says, why is Twitch asking me to verify before I can chat? That's Twitch security, I think. Can you copy the views to other planes? Schnars, well, not really, because think about it, right? If you get an aircraft in Flight Sim 2020 or 2024, you have to set up your custom views to that aircraft. And that's a sim restriction. That makes sense? But once you set up your views, once you create your views inside of ChasePlane, you can back these puppies up. So for whatever reason, if you lose your views, right? If you lose them, well, they're backed up. Just download them again. You know what I mean?
Hello?
Manual import or export. Keeps a copy of your views and groups into the Parallel 42 cloud. Can you just use those views that other people already done? 100%. If you get into an aircraft and you're saying, right, I'm going to delete all these views, right? Let's go into this. I'm going to have no views. Reset all my views. Gone. Good luck to you. All right. Now, I now have no views. No buttons work. I've nothing set up. I've no views. By default, that custom view, the cinematics, that's already there. But in terms of my 1, 2, 3, 4, none of these are working now. Balls, I need to set them up again. Okay, well watch. Let's import someone else's views. So go into our menu, go to community, any name, TFDI, here's the aircraft. I want internal views. All right. Here's a pilot view. I want that one. I want the EFB, the MCP, the overhead, and the engine start. See all these views? Import them. All right. Now I come back into my main menu, and here's all these views I've just imported. See these? So I can say, okay, show me the pilot view. Edit this. I can adjust the position so it's tweaked for me. Save the position. Now I'm going to go back and give it a view shortcut. 0. I'll give it another one. And me buttons. Save that. All right. What about the EFB? Okay, here's the EFB. Let's give this a view position. I don't know, we'll call it 4. Save it.
Good evening.
All right. What about the MCP? All right, let's give this another one, and I'm going to call this number 2. Save it. What about the overhead? Yeah, I'm going to give this a position. I'm going to call it 1. Save. What about the engine start? Yeah, we'll give this number 3 for the crack. Save. Now I've imported all these views. I didn't set them up. And all I've done was I've told ChasePlane, hey, I want you to like save all of these views. It didn't like 0. Why was that now?
This way.
Pilot. 0 and number 3. Okay, delete that. Delete. Press the gear button. Save. That's what's wrong. Give it another one. Save. There we go. We'll try that again. So we have number 4, number 1, number 2, number 3, and 0. So I've used someone else's views to do that. And here's something that's very important, lads. If you're in, and I always recommend this, if you're using ChasePlane or not, you can do the same in your default flight sim. I always have my default custom view 0 set to the pilot's view. And I always have that set to my trigger button. If I need to immediately jump back into it, I just hit that trigger button. How cool is that? Now the views that I've created, I can share these then. You know, I can say, right, okay, go into menu, go into community. I can share my views, right? My content, views. It's going to find what I have. If I don't have anything, I can create them. Here's my MD-11 freighter, right? So there's my views. I can make these public, right? So these are Murph's views. I'm going to make these public.
Good evening.
They're default, okay. They're default. So all of my views are now public. So if you now do a search, it should come up to say my content, and it'll say who used them. So if I want to browse the community, TFDI design, well, we can use any aircraft. MD-11F. Will I find my views? Stepka.
Welcome on board.
Tim Dog is in there. But I think it has to be for a specific aircraft, yeah? So you can share them. Do you know? I wonder where it's getting my name from. That'll be interesting. Look at the physics you can go to as well.
Welcome on board.
Lower console, porthole, that's grand. What about like the mounted cameras? Mine's a dash cam. Is there any like mounted cameras in the community? Yeah, glare shield. Show me the glare shield mounted. Oh yeah, they're nice. Glare shield captain, glare shield mountain. So you can kind of browse. You can kind of browse what views you like the most. Yeah? Like, that's a lovely camera. I'm going to say, yeah, do you know what? I want that. Select it, import it. You have this view in your library. Grand. Go back into my views. And we're going to come down to where it has glare shield pilot. I can edit this now and say, do you know what? Call this key number 5. Save it. So now, I've just brought in this view, number 5. There it is. Cyrus, good to see you. Can you set timers on a view to make it change to another one automatically? I think so. Let's have a look. So if we're looking at these views, group views shortcut, you can assign shortcuts to the camera group here, allowing you to cycle through the views in the view group. All right. Change the group, hard mounted. If we go into hard mounted, edit the group. All right. Group together in the views page. Assign a group shortcut. Will there be head tracking? Will it do a transition in and out? The camera physics. Aircraft effects. How can it cycle through it automatically? So you're kind of adding these into a group. I imagine you can. 2024 version will be available tomorrow of the 777. Yeah. Vlogger GoPro. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great question, Cyrus. I wonder, can you do that? Edson, good man yourself, the man of the hour. Edson, we've a very good question, and I'm scratching my head trying to figure it out. Edson, can you get your internal cameras? Can they automatically cycle, just like we're using the beautiful cinematics? Like, can you get... Technically, do you have to set up an internal cinematics camera? Would that be it? Cinematic cycle shows all cameras. Yeah, Big Al, good to see you. They cannot auto cycle. Okay. But we could probably set up some custom views inside and add them as cinematics, would it? We've got some feature requests. Big Al, good to see you, mate. Cinematics is just that. Automated cinematics. Zero work. Yeah. So, it's automated cinematics. Gotcha. Okay. So in terms of us creating our own bunch of camera views, there's no way for us to add those camera... Like, we can't add these camera views to a cinematic group. Yeah, there's no cinematic internal cameras at this time. Okay. Carney says, Murph, is the Stream Deck available as a device as well, directly bind to a button? So, technically yes, but you would have to tell the Stream Deck what it is. So on your Stream Deck, you were saying, hey, Stream Deck, when I click on this button here, for example, when I click on this button here, I want you to load up Control, Alt, and 1. All right. Now, if I go into Control, Alt, and 1, this is called, what was that called? That's called, oh, Jesus, what is that called? Letterbox, isn't it? Letterbox. And we're going to give this a Control, Alt, 1. Alright. So my Stream Deck is now controlling that. See that? If I wanted to use a Stream Deck to use, you know, a camera view, I can tell the Stream Deck, hey, I don't think ChasePlane will detect it. Will it? Cinematics. So cinematics, right? Camera actions, previous view, reset camera, toggle, quick look, they're all cool. Normal camera, fast camera, next camera, direction control. Jesus, the options you have here. Adjust depth of field. Yes! It's in the world camera only. Press any key. Oh, hang on a second. Did I just get this working? Yeah, I did. Sweet. Confirm. Okay. Now, what was the other one? ChasePlane features. Toggle cinematics. Next cinematic view. So what was that? Button 78. So let's try this one. Okay. Toggle cinematics. It doesn't see your Elgato Stream Deck by default, by default here. However, you can use other add-ons. I think, is it Axes and O's? Doesn't that give your Stream Deck individual keys? But for example, right, I can set up a button here to do, okay, look, I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to give it a keyboard bind. Press a button for the keyboard to toggle cinematics mode, right? All right. Well, press any button. Let's go Shift, Control. Okay, that's a conflict. Avoid conflicts. This will give you a full list then of any conflicts that you have. Look at this, lads. ChasePlane is reading this directly. Look. Here's a list of every assignment you currently have configured in ChasePlane. That just showed me everything that I have in ChasePlane. And then you have a video. How do you remove them?
Welcome to this quick tutorial on how to remove control assignments from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.
Yeah, you know. Cheat sheet we build for you is another way for more physical paper types. Yeah. Nothing there. Good to see you. Right, okay, so that's a conflict. So let me see. Delete that again. We'll try a new one. Shift, Control, and 0. There we go. There's a new one. Save that, right? If I go into my Stream Deck, we're going to create a new keybind in my Stream Deck. We're going to call this a hotkey. Is it a hotkey switch? No, it's just a hotkey. I just want a hotkey, please. Hotkey. Click to assign. There we go. Control Alt and 0, right? So I'm now inside the airplane, and if I press my Stream Deck button, Control Alt and 0. Control Alt and 0. Let's just make sure I did this right, because I'm an idiot. Control Alt and 0. Control Alt and 0. Right. ChasePlane. Show me this view, please. ChasePlane features. Toggle cinematics. Left shift, left control, and 0. Shift. Shift, you big idiot. It should be Control Alt and 0. Save. Alright. Watch this now. I press my Stream Deck. So I'm now using a button on my Stream Deck to use some sort of a mad keybind in order to give me these cinematic views. Isn't that the cat's pajamas, man, isn't it? Like, you're building your own, 100%, you're building your own. You're building your own. Like, and do you know what's mad, lads? You've no restrictions on the number of views. It's frightening. If you're using your custom views, you know, the ones that Microsoft give you, you're limited to, like, you know, 9 views. G-Slayer, mate, yeah, this is 2020 and look how friggin' good it looks. And then you want to get fancy with this kind of stuff, you know. Do you know what I mean? You can make it all terribly nice. Terribly, terribly nice. With fancy graphics. Hang on now. This is where we give it a bit of oomph. Easy. Oh yeah. In a world, one man in a plane. He pressed buttons. Brilliant! And then, like, you become the editor. Change the views when you listen to the music. What has taken Murphy years to learn and training when it came to the drone camera, it's now been replaced by technology. How fast can this go? Ah, brilliant! What a great bit of kit. It's very good, isn't it? So many users still active on 2020. I agree. Yeah, I agree. You'd love to see it on 24 and Flow Pro too. I mean, Edson knows the crack, so I'm annoying him every second I get. Edson, how are you Flow, Edson? Is it? You doing Flow now, Edson, you know, for 24? They want all of these features in 2024. Of course they do, lads. It just takes time. It just takes time, you know? When you combine this with a flight recorder, that's when it really gets amazing things. Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at this. That's, like, these sort of transitions. Okay, the letterbox is straightforward. I mean, any old lead you can just put in the letterbox, yeah? Did me bloom stuff work? Hang on. Where's me bloom? That's a bit strong. Oh, that works. There we go. We're going to save you to... What are you? Bloom is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Control Alt 7. Control Alt 7. Hi. Rid of you now for a minute. Bring you down here now just a little bit. Oh, yes. Now the bloom, right? This is where the thing gets absolutely savage. You ready for this one now? Do you know? Timing for the bloom. You ready? I can do that better. Hang on, I'll do that better. Get rid of that keybind, you big idiot. No, clear that now. Just look. Right, we'll give it a different bloom. Something that's like, oh Jesus, look at that. Yes. Give this a shortcut now. Hang on a second. Control Alt 7. Get in there. Shh. It's quiet. Shh. Grant. Right, say nothing. Where's that button? All right. Shh. Try that again. Did you see the... Did you just see what it did? Hang on, we can get even more fancy. Like, you can have the crack with this, do you know what I mean? Officially the most fun you can have with your clothes on. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. These sort of cinematic shots, lads, these would take ages to try and get running in the sim. They would literally take ages. And like, you combine that with the messing we did on ReShade. I mean, look at that for a view. Look at the transition and everything. It's absolutely gorgeous. Isn't it gorgeous? And like, this is just static. Get GSX back into the... Come here now, GSX. How are you? Yeah, deboard the plane. Deboard the gadget. And now you're watching at the... Look, it's doing its thing, man. Granted, he's driving through the scenery, but that's okay. If we buy this now, do we get the 2024 version for free, or would it be discounted? Edson, center stage. Isn't that deadly? If you buy ChasePlane right now for 2020, you will get a free update or an upgrade when it's available on Flight Sim 2024. So yeah, if you buy it now, you're going to be laughing. It's ridiculous. And that's only some of the features, lads. I don't want to say like that's it in a nutshell. My biggest concerns with ChasePlane was I'm going to lose all my camera system, and I was terrified of that. But now you can see just how easy it is. I can amalgamate ChasePlane into my original camera controls, and for me that's just bang on. And you can import, you can export, you can bring in community views, and they save to the aircraft. And then you know, you can friggin' back, what's the word I'm looking for? Not backload. You can back them up and, to lose the damn camera system, right? Murph, can we expect a new TWM AI agent to take over the stream? I'm telling you, it's going to happen. No, lads, I think you're really going to enjoy this. As I said, like there's, you know, I have buttons and keybinds set up already. I'll add more for sure. And I'll get ChasePlane to mimic what I'm used to in terms of the familiarization of how to move cameras around, right? But then I can just use ChasePlane for doing what I want to do. It's an amazing product, and the tutorial, Edson, the tutorial is brilliant. Really, really good. You know. Oh no, but what if situations? Yeah, right. Imagine now that every new airframe you have community views instantly available. That's what we showed off tonight. I created my views and then it's like, do you know, let's find some of these custom views. And the beautiful part is I can then edit those custom views if I wish, or I can default their keybind to what I would usually use for a similar view. It's mad. Mad. Anyway, Edson, great show, old boy. Great show. Well done. Can we get accessibility options for small hands? Shag off. Look at lads, it's a product I was anxious about because I was thinking I don't ever see me using ChasePlane because I prefer using the drone camera and doing what I do. And once I did that, it's about 15 minutes. They hold your hand. Once I set everything up, I was like, holy crap, this is good. And I have at a click of a button, it does this stuff for me. So like during engine start and pushback, this gives you such a different perspective on the flight sim. I'm watching GSX now just unload the aircraft, but like look how I'm doing it. And you combine these effects with what we've covered tonight with your ReShade, giving you these additional filters. Like that's ReShade turned off and it still looks freaking gorgeous. You turn ReShade on and then you absolutely, you know, bang it. It's class, lads. It really is. Like, there's no point saying otherwise. This is awesome. I think you're going to enjoy it. Can't wait to get my mitts in it yet. You're going to like it, lads. And you combine that, as I said, with the ReShade, you're going to transform your sim. And for what? Like, there's no performance. The only performance that I get is using ReShade. And in this case, it's costing me 3 FPS. It's not even, it's 2 FPS. 2 FPS. What? You know what I mean? It's amazing. It's a great bit of kit. So that is ChasePlane. That is ReShade. That is Dallas Fort Worth. And that was JFK International Airport. Incredible stuff. You can switch cinematic on and forget about it. It's the camera system that Microsoft Flight Sim we should have always had. Yeah, maybe. You kind of need to see, like, ChasePlane is there since P3D, and like that's not all. Like with some of these camera views, lads, they have physical reaction. So if you're using like this head camera and you're flying along and you're in turbulence, the camera is moving. It's simulating the forces. It's actually quite good. And then you go to like these fixed dash cam cameras. Well, they won't move at all. You know what I mean? So it's like they've pretty much thought of everything there. You know. Yeah, but you lose the drone camera bindings, which turned you off, it says Mets. But Mets, you can put back in your drone bindings. Yeah? You can put, like, just go into the ChasePlane options and say, hey, you know, into ChasePlane, go into your preferences, right? And what you can do here is chase camera actions or camera movements. Move laterally, move forward. So if I want to move laterally, check this out. When I'm going to add a control, here's my Xbox controller. I don't want the upsy downsy. I want the lateral. Confirm. Save, right? Move forward and backwards or move up and down. So forwards and backwards. Confirm. Back. Move up and down. Confirm. Zoom in and zoom out. Right. Confirm. Look up and look down. This is probably the better one. Confirm. If I want to move up or move down, this is where the conflict is. Move up, move down. We're going to call it... All right, let's confirm all this. Now let's use our drone camera. No, didn't like that. Wait now, why didn't I like that? Did I not save half the stuff? Camera movements. Move laterally. Firm. Move the camera right. Move left. Move the camera right. Firm. Ah, okay. Left, right. There you go. Move laterally. Move forwards. Up. Down. Okay, we're getting there. Move up and down. Move up. Move down. All right. Zoom in, zoom out. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay. Zoom, oh, balls. Zoom out. Firm. Zoom in. Zoom out. Let's just see if I can get this working. Look left and right. Look left. Look right. And then this is our move laterally. Get rid of that. If I want to move left. Oh. Move left is going to be this. Move right, it's going to be this. All right. Up, down, zoom in, look left, look up and down. Look. So tilt the camera up. Tilt the camera down. Okay, so let's save that. And just like that, there's my drone. There's a drone camera. That's me using my Xbox controller to move stuff up and down. I have my drone camera back. Zoom in, zoom out. Now, I'll spend time doing this a little bit more, right? But I just want to show you, I now have the full functionality of my drone camera back. I just have the buttons reversed. Right? Isn't that the chickens? What's it? Yeah, Merv, that's a thing. Look at that, though. So there, it does work. So, like, yeah, ChasePlane. As I said, my biggest worry was this is going to, you know, make a mess of my controls and I'm going to be lost. It isn't. You can put your own default controls back in there. ChasePlane just gives it an absolute barrel load of other functions. It's class. It's absolutely class, lads. Jorg, Edson, do we need to grab a hell to Jorg at Expo? Come here, Jorg, now. Will ever turn on the switches that the lads need? You know, how do we... Oh, yeah. So if I want to do... That's move forwards, back. That's look up and down. That's zooming should... There we go. There's your uppy down here, look. Isn't it very good, isn't it? It's very powerful. And then click of a button, boom! Into me cinematics again. Lads, it's very good. I'm so impressed. I think it's brilliant. And lots of time. Things like exposure, depth of field. At what booth? Don't be saying that now. I'll find out. I'll find out what's happening. Do you know the big massive booth near the FS Elite stage that no one has bought yet? ChasePlane, camera actions, previous view, next view, toggle. I saw something with the bokeh effects. Is there anything there for adjusting? There's adjusting depth of field, look, right? And that works in the world camera only. Is there anything there that we can actually, Edson, can we change the exposure, or is that something perhaps you can add in to allow us to control exposure settings, or is the exposure settings now lost with ChasePlane? Just wondering. That's a good one. That's a good question now. Or do we just go back into the sim and say exposure increasing? Hang on, we'll do it this way. No, that goes too deep. Okay, so can we use the default sim settings to change exposure? Let's ask the question. Controls. Search by name. Okay, so it's unable to... Okay. Increase drone exposure. There's no way to put these in because ChasePlane won't work with this. There is a sim setting for that. All right. So if I were to say increase the drone exposure, it's the wrong button. Clear that. Cancel. We want to go to the controller. Let's see if this works. Increase drone exposure. So that's going to be... Hang on now. Validate. Decrease. Validate. Apply and save. Go back. Resume. Yeah. Okay. You're not in the actual drone anymore. Gotcha. So if I go into this camera. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. That's one way to do it. One way to get around that, I would think, is going to be using ReShade. Would that be right? Exposure settings. Yeah, there's not a way to do that because you're technically not in a drone camera view. All right, okay. So that's going to leave something there for Microsoft maybe to have a gawk at, I would think. Or you use something like a ReShade to increase your exposure. So what you could do as a workaround, because we're looking at workaround, right? This is our own container if you think of it that way. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so if having exposure was of very much importance to you, right? Well, we have this auto explosion. Like you can do, ReShade has options for exposure, yeah? And you can probably set up a button to change it. Do you know what I mean? And then you can bind that to a key or a something to say, hey, give me 10%, give me 15%. That makes sense? Fade. Yeah. What temperature do people have in their man caves? 24 for me, melting. Facility, yeah, it's like 26 in here. Okay, well tonight what we covered, ChasePlane, and you mix that in with your ReShade, and I think it's going to give you a phenomenal visual. It's power. It's going to give you loads of power of really kind of tweaking your sim into where you want to go. And we also checked out some awesome sceneries. Dallas Fort Worth is a friggin' masterpiece because it's so large, and iniBuilds enhanced JFK was really good as well. Exposure doesn't really work correctly as a post-process. Yeah, 100% Highway Man. It's a great question though, like, and it is something, yeah, because I mean, I'm trying to bump up the exposure at nighttime, and I think the only way I'm really going to achieve that by using ChasePlane, the only way I can do that, if I wanted to pump up or bump up the exposure levels at night, I just use my bloom key that I set up here. You know, I can make it look a little bit brighter. See that? Like that's what it turned off. That's what it turned on. That makes sense. Nvidia has a bit of stuff, yeah. That's for filters. Yeah, agreed. Well, look, that works. I mean, look what we're looking at now. I mean, that'll do the job, right? You know? Murph, how do you get on in real life without being able to use buttons for things? I've buttons for real life things as well, Al. Don't you worry. I think that's sufficient. Because here we are now looking at, you know, exposure levels. Technically, it's a bloom. I turn off the bloom. You know what I mean? And if we wanted to look at the stars, for example, it kind of does it, lads, doesn't it? Doesn't it do it? Kind of does, doesn't it? So try the bloom settings. That might help. Edson, am I right in saying as well that the cameras you've built into ChasePlane are way more... they're extended more than kind of the default cameras. For example, the rate of zoom and the speeds and all that, they're greatly enhanced with ChasePlane. Because I could never zoom out of that. Look at that, like that's like a 360 cam look. Yeah, they're way better. Yeah. So that's, what's that, bloom on or off? Yeah, that's bloom off, that's bloom on. Hopefully that'll help you, yeah. Yeah. They're yours completely, yeah. No, they're the distance of zoom that you can do, it's staggering. Look at that, so much so like it upsets the so much so it upsets the LOD. That's class, lads. It's very, very good. You'd be playing with this all feckin' night. What do you mean you didn't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning? But I was up looking at cameras. Do you know? When do you think you can show a demo of ReShade? DGS, it's earlier on in the stream. It's all there. So just look back the VOD on YouTube. You'll see it all there. And again, lads, Sai, yeah, what are we asking for, Sai? Because you should find it in ReShade as well. Sorry, you won't find it in ReShade. You'll find it at the start of the video as well. You know? Would the drone exposure and settings like that ever be included in ChasePlane? That's a good question. Don't know. Maybe if there's enough, you know. What folder goes where for ReShade? Sai, read the gadget. Sai, Jesus. Where is it? Hang on. Read the, oh jeez, where to put it? Flightsim.to. Sai, here's a link, and you need to read the link. Where are you? Because this will tell you. This explains the whole shebang to you. All right. You have that. Just balls. Just read it, Sai, because it's going to tell you where you put them. Can you do auto plane spotting? I don't think. Edson, can the cameras lock on to multiplayer or AI traffic? Because it does have options there for smart stuff. So I don't know. I didn't try it. I'll try it. I don't know. Does that out of the box? I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know where it is. You don't know where what is? The folder site. It's in the root folder. It's wherever your Microsoft Flight Sim EXE is located. That's where it goes. That's where she lives, lads. Yeah. That's where you'll find it. Just read down through it. Your man has the instructions there for you, Sai. And if you've any hassle, let us know then after that. We can jump on Discord or something, do you know? Yeah, like there's just other stuff on the way that's going to be like, what? Nightstep said he was going to give us an update tomorrow on ReShade. He's an easier way to set it up, so that might be better for his lads. But like, I know there's other stuff being cooked in the background, especially when it comes to SayIntentions and the traffic injection. Sitting at an airport like this with these camera views, looking and listening to aircraft moving all around the place with ATC, all being powered by AI, it is absolutely going to blow you sideways. It's very, very good, you know. Really glad they finally included an actual exposure slider in the graphic settings. VR was so overexposed. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like it, for me, ReShade does the heavy lifting on how I want my sim to appear in terms of lighting, exposure, colors, shadows. Yeah. ChasePlane, I think, lads, is going to be one of those things like Flow. You're going to become dependent on it and that you'll need it, and then you'll be saying, Just where is it? I need it in me flight sim experience, you know? Cyrus, good man yourself. He says, if you're having bothers with ReShade, hit me up on Discord. Discord, I'll talk you through it. There we go. There we go. So, yeah, like ReShade off. Very subtle differences. ReShade on. Yeah. Off, on, off, on. And that's just what's visually pleasing to me with my monitor setup. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Fairly technical one now tonight, lads, but I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it helpful, right? As I said, between the sceneries, which look awesome, ChasePlane, which is awesome, and then all the stuff we do with ReShade, which is very, very good as well. You know what I mean? So, you're right. I'm so used to Flow and ChasePlane now in 2020, lost without in 24. Yeah, like we're all dying to get Flow working in flights in 2024. ChasePlane is going to be the very same, lads. Once you start using it, and it doesn't take long, you'll get your head around it fairly quick. All of a sudden you'll be thinking, man, you have internal cameras, external cameras, world cameras, and then you have automatic cinematic. It's automatic cinematic. Brilliant. That's what it is, right? That's what it is. So, yeah, lads, I want to thank you so very, very much indeed for tuning in. Massive shout out to everyone who came in. Massive shout out to developers like Parallel 42 for bringing this sort of stuff into our hobby, and also great work on Dallas and iniBuilds. Incredible stuff. Wombi, I'm going to remind myself now because I got busy tonight. Wombi has updated his scenery and it must be seen. We're going to have a look at that next week as well. All right. So, yeah. Does Edson have any details about Flow if he's in chat? They're waiting. They're waiting. When you look at what was required from some scenery developers just to get their scenery working inside of 2024, Flow is one of those things that interferes. It changes the UI. And Microsoft said everything should work okay in 2024, provided it doesn't mess with the UI. So Flow as we know it in 2020 will be different in 2024. But it's going to be better. You just know it is. No pressure. Right, lads, I'm away to bed now. You know, I've beauty sleep and all that to get. Yeah. We're flying on Friday night, 1900 Zulu. We are flying for the Bureau of Questionable Breadsticks. No, culinary breadsticks. Yes. So yeah, looking forward to Friday night. It's going to be a group flight, and where we're flying around the Pyrenees, or as I like to call them, the pair of knees. Right, until then, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you for spending your evening with me, and we had a lot of fun checking out some cool stuff in the sim. We'll see you on Friday. Take care. This, lads. Look at the state of this. Touchdown. Nicely done. Beautiful. Armin Addict inbound. Careful now, careful now. Pull up, pull up. Beautiful. What a landing. So we've Gregor inbound.